Hi everyone, I'm back with another video. Okay, this video I'm doing a maths paper. So this is the trial 2025 maths paper and this is the SBP paper. Yeah, SBP and it's a mathematics kertas 1 trial for 2025. Okay. Okay, before I start, I want to mention a few things. Uh, if you want more videos like this, make sure you subscribe. And if you want to gain early access to my future videos, you can join my channel membership. All the links are in the description. Okay. So if you're interested, you can join my channel. Okay, that's it. Let's start now. Okay, number one, what is the value of digit 6 is the number 2648 base 9. Okay, this one is definitely the Form 4 chapter 2. Yeah, the number based chapter, right? So how do you find the value of digit 6? Okay, first I will underline the 6 first. Like that. Okay. So what is the meaning is they want you to change this digit 6 to base 10. Okay. Yeah. So how do you change smaller base to base 10? So this one is base 9, right? So when you change smaller base like base 9 to base 10, first you have to write down the place value on top. Yeah, you have to write the place value on top. So what is the place value? The nilai tempat. So if it's base 9, the place value will be 9 power 0 starting from here. And then here 9 power 1, 9 power 2, 9 power 3 like this. And then how you change to base 10 is you will take 9 power 3 times 2 plus 9 power 2 times 6, 9 power 1 times 4. Semua darab, 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 darab. And then tambah semua. Okay. But this question only one for digit 6. So you only need to do 9 power 2 times 6. Okay. So you press that in your calculator, you get B. 486. Okay. That's all. Number two, they want you to solve for 1264 base 7 plus 356 base 7. So it's the same chapter like question 1 lah. Yeah, we are still doing number base. Okay, this one you cannot use calculator. You cannot press 1264 plus 356. Tak boleh sebab ini base 7, bukan base 10. And also in your calculator, there's no option boleh tukar jadi base 7 punya mode. In your calculator can only change to base 2 punya mode or base 8 I think. Yeah. So this one you have to do it by yourself and the method I will use is the vertical method. So what is vertical method? Vertical method means you will stack up the number on top of each other like that. 3, 5, 6, base 7. Yeah, this is called the vertical method. Okay. But make sure when you stack the numbers, make sure it's aligned properly like this. Okay, so when you take base 7 plus base 7, you will end up with base 7. Okay, and now you can do 4 plus 6. Alright, 4 plus 6 will give you 10. But this is base 7. So base 7 punya number, dia boleh ada digit from 0 to 6 sahaja. So if it's base 7, dia ada 0 sampai 6 saja. The maximum digit is always 1 less than the base. So for example, if I say base 8, then you will have digit from 0 to 7. Yeah, the highest digit is always 1 less than the base. So untuk base 7, dia ada digit 0 sampai 6 sahaja. So 4 plus 6 is 10, right? So what you have to do is you have to take 10 minus with the base and see what you get for the remaining, the balance. You get 3. That means you have to write 3 here and then plus 1 here. Yeah, you plus 1 is because you minus 7. Every time you minus 7, you plus 1. Okay, next one is 1 plus 6, which is 7, plus 5 is 12. And 12 you will minus with the base also, 7. And then you get 5. And then you just write 5 and then plus 1 again because you minus 7. And then 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6. Okay, 6 boleh tulis ataupun kena tolak 7. Boleh tulis kan? Because base 7 memang boleh ada digit from 0 to 6. Yeah, so 6 boleh tulis. You hanya kena tolak 7 when it's 7 or higher than 7, baru you kena tolak 7. Okay, the last one is just 1. So the answer is 1653 base 7. So just bulatkan that answer, then you are done. Number 3, given that P equals R over 3 minus R, express R in terms of P. Okay, R in terms of P means dia nak cari R single, nak cari R equals, and then the jawapan will be in terms of P lah. That's why you look at all your ABCD answers, semua R equals, R equals, R equals, R equals. And then on the other side, something P, something P, something P, something P. Okay, so kita kena cari R daripada sini. Kalau saya, first step I will do is I will get rid of the fraction. Yap, saya akan hilangkan fraction lah. And cara dia macam mana? Senang saja. Ini pindah atas jadi darab. So, P darab dengan 3 minus R. So, P multiply with 3 minus R equals R. Okay. So, this bracket has one term inside. This bracket has two terms. So, when you expand, when you kembang, this is the correct way. You take the bracket with one term and then darab inside the two terms. So, you end up with 3P minus PR equals to R. And since I'm trying to find R, so if I'm trying to find R, I'll try to make R single. But you can see your R now ada dua, ada muncul dua kali. So what I will do, I will leave the 3P here and pindah yang ada R on one side. Minus PR jadi tambah PR. Okay, R tambah PR ni tak boleh buat, tapi kita boleh faktor. Yeah, we can factorize because both these two terms can both divide by R. So I will faktorkan R, and when you faktor means you bahagi ya. So R bahagi R tinggal satu, PR bahagi dengan R tinggal P macam ni. And apa sebab saya buat macam tu is untuk jadikan R tu single. Yeah, because when you divide R from both these two terms, the R will become single. So now your R, you can find it already. It's 3P, and this whole thing go there becomes bahagi 1 plus P. Yeah, darab hantar jadi bahagi. So now you go look for your answer. So that's the answer D. Alright, that's all. Okay, number 4. Diagram 1 shows a regular pentagon, PQRST, and QRU is a straight line. So this word is very important, regular. What's the meaning of regular pentagon? It means the PQRST, all 5 sides sama panjang, and not only that, the angle here will all same also. Yeah, the interior angle will be same. And I'll tell you straight away, the interior angle is 108. Okay, yeah, 108. So for here also 108 lah. Okay, but there's a line in between, right? That's why I have to write carefully. Okay, the one here also 108. Okay, but it's not Y. Y is only like a small part of it. Okay, and then they say QRU is a straight line. Oh, so the total here is 180 lah, right? So I can find X. Just take 180 minus 108. And the soalan say calculate value of X plus Y. Okay, first of all, X straight away you can find already. 180 minus 108, which gives you 72 degrees. But now I have to find Y, right? Okay, how do you think you need to find Y? Okay, very easy. I'll just take out my highlighter here. You can see this is a regular pentagon, but they cut it here, right? They add a line in between like this. Yeah, they add a diagonal. So you can see this triangle is actually an isosceles triangle because these two sides sama panjang. So when you have an isosceles triangle, this angle and this angle mesti sama. Okay, so you already have the 108. So what you can do is take 180 minus 108, and you end up with these two angles. But since these two angle is sama, you can divide by 2 like that, and you get 36. So this is your Y and this is your X. Now 72 plus 36, you will get 108. So the answer is C. Okay, I want to mention a bit how I get the 108 because I'm scared some of you don't know how I get the 108 because I just write straight away, right? So remember this formula. The sum of interior angles is always n minus 2 times 180. Yeah, that's the formula that I used. N minus 2 times 180. And the n is the number of sides. So for example, if you have 3 sides, which means it's a triangle, you have 3 sides. So you want to know the sum of interior angle, jumlah sudut dalam, just ganti 3 minus 2, which is 1 times 180, 180. Maksudnya jumlah sudut dalam 180 lah, for 3 side punya triangle. But if it's 4 side, then 4 minus 2, and then times 180 lah, which is 360. Tapi ini 5 side kan. So 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 times 180, which is 540. Yeah, for this case it's 540. But since it's a regular pentagon, that means all the 5 angles sama. That's why 540 I can bahagi 5. So that's how I get the 108. Okay. Alright, hope you all get it. Okay, number 5 pula. Alright, what is this? Table 1 shows Faris' monthly salary distribution. So he has savings, which is 10% of the salary. Investment is 25% of the salary. Expenses is the rest of the salary. Determine the ratio of Faris' investment to expenses. Okay, investment is this one. Expenses is this one. Give the answer in simplest form. Okay, if you want to find the ratio for investment to expenses, you did this and this punya percentage. Okay, yeah, you need to have these 2%. So I already know 10% of salary go to savings, 25% go to investment, the rest go to expenses. So if you want to find the rest, just take 100 minus 25 and 10, which is 35. So you end up with 65%. And now you're trying to find the ratio for investment to expenses. So we can use the percentage. Investment to expenses, it means 25 ratio 65 like that. Okay, but of course this one you can kecilkan, right? So you can use your calculator to help you. Just tekan 25 bahagi 65 in your calculator, and automatic the calculator will change to fraction for you. So it's 5 over 13. That means this one is 5 ratio 13. So the answer is B, boy. Okay, yeah, you all know this, right? The nisbah symbol, the ratio dot dot, you can change to divide. Yeah, so if I say 25 ratio 65, it actually means 25 divide 65. It's the same thing. We just write it differently. Cuma kita tulis nampak macam Bukan bahagi, but it's actually bahagi. So if you use the calculator will simplify it for you. Okay. All right, that's all. Huh? Okay, number 6. This is a probability question. Yeah, I see this word already. Okay, a card is selected at random from a box containing cards with prime numbers less than 20. Calculate the probability of selecting odd number. Okay, the formula to find probability is PA equals NA over NS. So PA is like a probability of a certain event. It could be any event. It could be even number. It could be boy. It could be girl. Then the formula will be number of that event divide with NS, which is the total lah. So for example, if I want find probability of girl, then it will be the number of girl, bilangan girl bahagi dengan bilangan jumlah lah. Okay, what is the PA for this case? They want odd number mah. So you are finding probability of odd number. So what do you think I have to masuk atas? Bilangan odd number, bawah will be bilangan jumlah lah. So they already said a card is selected at random from a box containing cards with prime numbers less than 20. So let's list out setaraikan semua prime numbers less than 20. Alright, the smallest prime number in the world is 2. Okay, make sure you all know 1 is not prime number. So 2 is the prime number, and then followed by 3. 4 is not prime number because 4 can divide 2, and then 5, and then 7, and 8, no, 9, no, 10, no, 11, yes, 12, no, 13, yes, 14, no, 15, no, because can divide 5, 16, no, because even number, 17, yes, and then 18, no, 19 is the last one. Okay, so these are all prime numbers with less than 20. Remember, prime number is the number yang ada dua factor. Prime number is number yang ada dua factor. Dia hanya boleh bahagi dia sendiri dengan bahagi satu saja. So these are all contoh lah. 2, 3, 5, 7. Like for example 7. Dia hanya boleh bagi 7 dengan satu saja. Like macam 8 tak boleh because 8 boleh bahagi 4. So it's not prime number lah. Okay, and remember 1 is not prime number. Okay, now they say calculate the probability of selecting odd number from here. So odd number, let's bulatkan yang mana odd number. Odd means nombor ganjil. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have 7 odd number, but out of 8, the jumlah. So the answer is B, boy. Okay. And I want to mention something extra here. 2 is the only even number that is prime. I repeat, 2 is the only even number that is prime number. Yeah. 2 is the only nombor genap yang considered prime numbers. Okay. And at the same time, 2 is also the smallest prime number. Yeah. So you perasan tak, semua nombor genap, semua even number automatic bukan prime. Like for example, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Semua ni automatic bukan prime number sebab dia boleh bahagi 2. So confirm it will have more than 2 factors. So it won't be prime. Except 2. Because 2 is prime. Dia ada 2 factors saja. 1 and 2. Okay. Yeah. And at the same time, 2 is also the world's smallest prime number. Okay. Alright. I hope you get it. Okay, let's continue with number 7. Okay, this looks like the transformation chapter. Yeah, you learn in Form 5. Okay, diagram 2 shows triangle PQR and STU. Okay, I see it. Which of the following satisfy the angle side AAS criteria when triangles PQR and STU are congruent? Okay, this one you learn in the Form 5 chapter 5. In the first part of the chapter, you learn about congruency. And then you learn about the property of triangle congruency, right? And then you learn about the SAS, SSS, AAA, AAS, yeah, semua tu lah. So they want you to choose the one that satisfy angle side. So what's the meaning of angle side? It means these two triangles will have two corresponding angle that is equal, and the side and one of the side is equal, but the side cannot be in between the angle. Yeah, because you can, if it's in between, it's called ASA already. Okay, so we can see already the angle is this one they put one line, this one they put one line, means this one and this one mesti sama lah. So it's PRQ SUT. PRQ. Okay, this one PRQ correct lah, and SUT. So this is correct, this is correct. Okay. PRQ SUT. Okay, PRQ and QRP is the same. So this one is considered correct also. Yeah. And this one SUT, but they write TUS, tapi sama je. Okay. Alright, so far I see the correct one. Now let's tengok this other angle. This one it will be PQR and then STU. So PQR, STU, this is correct. PQR, STU, this is correct also. This one also correct, this one also correct. Oh my god. That means the only way to find out is to look at the side lah. Yeah. Alright, I told you already the side cannot be between the angle. It cannot be here and it cannot be here. Because if it's here, then it's not AAS, it's ASA already. So the side has to be either PQ or PR. Okay. Okay, let's assume that it's PQ. Let's assume that it's PQ. Okay, but I know it's not PQ lah, because just look at the side here. There's no PQ here also. Yeah, but let's just do it anyway. Okay, let's say the side is PQ. So the corresponding side for PQ will be which line? ST or SU? ST, right? Because you can see PQ is the line yang ada sentuh ini angle yang dua line. So yang sentuh angle dua line is this one lah. So PQ and ST, but you can already see it here that yeah, they don't have this. So definitely they want this other side lah. Yeah, I told you just now, right? Angle side means the side cannot be in the middle of the two angle. Yeah, it cannot be in the middle of the two angle. So it can be the other two side. Yeah, whichever you want lah. But obviously it's not this side because it's not in the option. So we will take PR equals to US. So PR equals US. This is the correct one. The rest all wrong, wrong, wrong. Yeah. So A is the answer. Okay. All right. Hope you understand. Okay, let's do number 8. Okay, this is also a transformation question. Okay, diagram 3 shows 5 trapezium drawn on square grid. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, got 5 trapezium. Which of the following trapezium ABCD is the correct image of K under enlargement? Okay, when we're doing transformation, it's always important to read the question and see which one is the object, which one is the image. So they said which one is the correct image of K. Means K is object lah. Yeah, and ABCD, one of these will be the image, but they never give us the scale factor and the center of enlargement. They just ask which is the correct image of enlargement. So I think what you have to do is you have to count the kotak and see which trapezium has the same ratio. Yeah, because when you do enlargement, walaupun you punya size sudah tukar, tapi dia punya ratio sama. The ratio of the corresponding side will be same, right? So we just check which one has the same ratio with K. Okay, let's start with kira K dulu. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4. This one is 2 kotak. This one is 2 kotak. So it's 4, 2, 2. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 here. And then 1, 2, 3, 3. This one is 4. So A is definitely not the correct answer. Because the ratio of the corresponding side tak sama. Nisbah sisi sepadan tu tak sama. When you find the scale factor here, 4 divided 2 is not the same as 3 divided by 2. So it's not possible for the K to enlarge jadi A because they are not similar. Yeah, they are not similar. What do I mean by similar here? Similar means they have the same shape. Similar means it has to have same shape, different size. Yeah, it can have different size, but the ratio of corresponding side must be equal. Then only it's called similar. Okay. Okay, B also cannot because then it's 2, 2, 1. So you can see the ratio also tak sama. Yeah, to find the ratio here is 1 bahagi 2, tapi dia tak sama dengan 2 bahagi 2. Yeah, so it's B is also wrong. What about C? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3 like that. Okay, find the ratio for this side and this side. I'll take 6 divided 4, which is 3 over 2. But when I find the ratio here is 4 divided 2, which is 2. So you can see the ratio tak sama. Maksudnya trapezium C dengan trapezium K ni dia tak similar. Dia tak similar. And what's the meaning of similar? Similar means they have the same shape but different size. But even though they have different size, the ratio of corresponding side is equal. Okay, so C is not the answer. So tinggal D sajalah. But let's count also. So this one is 2, this one is 2, this one is 4. Okay, you can see the ratio all will give you 1. 2 divided 2 is 1, 2 divided 2 is 1, 4 divided 4. So the ratio is equal. So D is the answer. And I want to mention something. You realize or not, K and D is actually the same size. Yeah, it's actually exactly same size. That means when you the scale factor will be 1 lah. Yeah, the K will be 1. Because when scale factor is 1, that's when you get the image same size as the object. Okay. What if your K is bigger than 1? Then your image will be bigger in size. What if your K is smaller than 1? That means your image is smaller lah. Your image becomes smaller. Okay. All right. So hopefully you understand. Okay, let's do number 9. This one is quadratic, confirm. Okay. So diagram 4 shows a graph of two quadratic function fx equals negative m squared mx squared plus 5, which is the outside one, and the gx negative 4x squared plus 5, which is the inside curve. drawn on the same axis. Okay, what is the possible range of values for M? All right, you can see M is actually the value of A. It's the value of A, right? So you can we all know that the A determines the what? Shape and width of the parabola, or you can say of the graph. Okay, yeah, the A determines the shape and the width of the graph. Okay, I'll just show you how I do it first. So you can see these are the shape of the curve for both is like a set face, right? So they both will have, the A will be negative for both this curve because the shape is like this, right? But for A negative near curve, the higher the A, the width also will increase. So if the negative 4 is the dalam punya, then the luar punya negative M mesti bigger than negative 4. Yeah, okay. Because for shape macam ni is A bigger, wider. So to find your M, it will be smaller than pindah negative jadi 4, right? But most students, they will bulat C straight away. But I'll tell you something. Your M has to be smaller than 4, but at the same time, it has to be bigger than 0. Because this one, yeah, because that means the dalam punya curve dia punya A negative 4, tapi yang luar punya dia kena bigger. So dia boleh jadi negative 3 or negative 2 or negative 1. But 0 cannot. Because if it's 0, then it's not a curve anymore. It will be a straight line already. And then kalau positive 1, positive 2, positive 3 itu lagi tak boleh lah. So that's why A is the correct answer. Okay. Okay, let me give you some notes on how to remember this. Yeah, how to remember this. So remember, if your A is bigger than 0, your A smaller, then the curve is wider. Okay, the width is lagi besar for A bigger than 0. But if your A is negative, that means your A bigger, baru you punya width jadi wider. Okay, yeah, you can see it's opposite one. Kalau dia A bigger 0 means the curve is like that, like a smiley face, right? This one is like a sad face. So if it's a happy face, A smaller, width wider. But if it's A lesser than 0, A negative, you get a sad face. That one is A bigger, the curve wider. Okay. So this is how you remember it. Okay, hope you understand. Let's continue. Okay, number 10. Diagram 5 shows a bar chart of the number of books sold by bookstores Mashor, Pustaka, Ilmu Ceria, and Telaga Ilmu in a day. So you have 4 bookstores here. And you can see the dark color one is the comic, and then the light color one is the novel. Okay, this bar chart is called a stacked bar chart because you can see the chart they stack atas dia, right? So how to butcher the stack bar chart? Okay, for this one, the light color one, you can see is 15, right? So this is 15. But this one, it's 25, but it's stacked on top. So you have to minus with the 15 to get the actual value for here. So this one is 25, but you have to minus with 15. That means the comic sold in Marshall is only 10. That's how you butcher stack bar chart. Okay. Okay, same thing here. You can see this one, the light color is until 20. The dark color is until 40. But since it's stacked on top, you have to minus 40 minus 20, you get 20. Because you're only finding here only. That's why you have to take the whole one, 40 minus with the 20. Okay. Okay, next one. This one is 10. Okay, here is 40. But since it's stacked on top, you have to minus. So 30. And then this one is 15. And then this one is 30, but it's stacked on top. So 30 minus 15, 15. Okay. All right, let's see what they want. Which of the following is true about the bar chart? All right, let's go through one by one, A, B, C, D, see which one is true lah. Okay, first one says the difference between number of novel and comics sold by the 4 store is 10 units. Okay, how to find the difference between novel and comic for 4 stores? Okay, for the novel, just take 15 plus 20 plus 10 plus 15. Okay, okay, 15 plus 15, 30, 50, 60. Okay, 60 is the novel. Okay, total for 4 stores. And then for the comic, you just take 10 plus 20, which is 30 plus 30, 60 plus 15, 75. So the difference here is 75 minus 60, which is 15. But here they write 10, so A is wrong. A is wrong. B, the difference between number of books sold at store Pusaka and Telaga is 10 units. So they never say which book, comic or novel. It means the jumlah for both lah. But it's for Pustaka and Telaga. So Pustaka and Telaga punya difference in books is 10. So let's check. So pustaka punya total is 20 plus 20, which is 40. Telaga punya total book is 15 plus 15, which is 30. 40 minus 30, the difference is 10. So B is correct lah. So B is the answer lah. Because they asked which one is true, right? So the difference between number of book for pustaka telaga is 10. Yeah, correct. This is the answer. Okay. All right. What about CD? The average number of comics books sold at the 4 store is 20 units. Comic for 4 is 20. Let's see. Comic is the dark color one. So you have to take all these numbers, add together plus 4. Okay. All these numbers add together. You will already did it just now, right? It's 75. But when you divide by 4, do you get 20? The answer is no. 80 bahagi 4 baru dapat 20. 75 bahagi 20, you get like decimal. So yeah, this is also wrong. This is also wrong. Okay, for the last one, the average number of books sold by 4 store is 35. This one, you have to take the jumlah for both books lah. So it will be 60 plus 75 total, which is 135. And then 135 I have to divide by 4, which is not 35. Yeah, 135 over 4 is not 25. It's 33.75. So now you know the correct answer is B boy lah. Okay. All right. Hope you understand. I'll continue. Okay, number 11. This one is logical reasoning. Diagram 6 shows an incomplete argument. Okay, to be more specific, it's a incomplete deductive argument. Yeah, how I know it's deductive is because the premise 1 is a general statement, and then premise 2 and premise 3 is a specific statement. And for deductive argument, dia memang macam ni. Dia premise 1 akan bagi general, and then the rest is specific. Okay. And for deductive argument ada 3 form. Form number 1, form number 2, form number 3. And your job is to tentukan which form is the argument lah. Okay, premise 1, if the straight line JK is parallel to straight line MN, then MJK equals to MMN. Means the gradient lah, M. So what you have to do, underline this, write P, underline this, write Q. Okay, so confirm is not form number 1. Because form number 1, dia akan jadi all A are B, C is A, C is B. So form number 1 is not like that. So it's either form number 2 or form number 3. Okay, premise 2 tak bagi. Tapi kalau dia form number 2, premise 2 you have to write P is true. Kalau form number 2, kalau form number 2, dia akan jadi P is true here, and then dia akan jadi Q is true. Itu kalau form number 2. Tapi kalau form number 3, here you write Q is not true, and then here you have to write P is not true. Yeah, that's just the format that you have to remember. Okay, for the form number 2 and form number 3. So let's see the conclusion. The premise 2 tak bagi, so there's no way for me to know which one it is. But you can take out conclusion. The straight line JK is not parallel to straight line MN. You can see this is actually P or Q. It's the P, right? Straight line JK is parallel to MN, is not parallel to MN. So it's exactly the same as P, but they already do negation here. That means this Q is not like that lah. It's not form number 2 lah. It's form number 3 because they mention P and they do negation here. So that means what I have to write at premise 2, we have to write Q, but we have to do Q is not true. That means we have to do negation Q here. So the Q is gradient JK sama dengan gradient MN. So when you do negation, dia akan jadi gradient JK not equals to gradient MN. Like this. B boy is the answer. Okay. Yeah. So that's all. Okay, let's do 11. Diagram 7 shows the contrapositive of an implication. Okay, same chapter also, like last question is the logical reasoning. So they already said this is a contrapositive, and I always tell students, always underline the PQ kalau dia bagi if then. Okay, if something then something, this one always underline it and write P and write Q. But in this case, it's not PQ because they already said this is contrapositive, and the contrapositive formula is if not Q, then not P. So that means this is the Q yang sudah buat negation. And then this one is the P yang sudah buat negation. Okay. Okay, which of the following is the converse of implication? Okay, I already hafal. Yeah, I already remember everything. Converse is if Q then P. Okay lah, I'll just give you the full nota now. So for implication yang normal, the original implication is always if P then Q. If P then Q. And then converse if Q then P. Inverse if not P, then not Q. And then the last one is contrapositive. For contrapositive, if not Q, then not P. Okay. But of course, for this question, we only care about the converse. So we have to write converse if Q, then P. But sir, what is your Q? What is your P? Okay, your Q you can refer here. But this is negation Q. you have to do Q only. You have to just write Q only. So dia akan jadi apa? P R union S. You can see dia sini buat equal and then dia tulis not equal kan? Yeah, because this is negation Q. So before dia buat negation, dia ada equal saja. So A is wrong, B is wrong, C is the only correct one. D cannot lah. D they mention something else first. Yeah, you have to mention Q first. According to the formula, you have to mention Q first. And since this is the contrapositive, that means the Q must be this one. So this is the answer. If Q, then P. And if you check here, this P memang match dengan this one. But of course, you have to take out the word non here, because this one is negation P, but you are trying to write P. So you means you take out the, it means you do negation again lah. Yeah, you kena buat lawan dia. Okay. Okay, that's all. Number 13, this one is from 4, chapter 4. It's called operation set. Okay. Okay, diagram 8 shows a Venn diagram with universal set J union K union L. That means J and K and L, when you gabung tiga, you get it's the whole thing, it's the whole set. Okay. Okay, list the elements of K complement union L. Okay, very easy. Let's list K complement punya elements and then list L and then take the union lah. Alright, K complements means selain daripada K. Ambil semua selain daripada K. Everything except K. Okay, K ada 7 dengan 8. So K complement will be 5, 6, 9, 10, 11. And then the next one is L. L is this diamond. So you have 7, 9, 10, 11. So just write that 7, 9, 10, 11. And then now you have to do the union. Take the union of these two set. Union means takes the gabung lah. Gabung dua-dua. Gabung. Alright, so you'll be 9, 9, 10, 10. Silap. Saya pergi buat intersection. Union kan. So union just combine everything lah. Tapi yang ada 2 kali tu you tulis sekali saja. So dia akan jadi 5, 6, 7. 9 ada 2 kali tapi tulis sekali saja. So 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. C lah. Yeah, so that's all. Sudah siap. Okay, 14, also same chapter like last question, the set chapter. Okay, diagram 9 is a Venn diagram that shows the favorite food of 5 Surya pupils. So it's about favorite food. Given that the universal set is L union M union S, means L union M union S is is everything. Okay, set L is student who like to eat nasi lemak. Okay, kalau saya mesti saya pergi L and label. Yeah, you have to label. Sebab kalau tak nanti you tak tahu which one is nasi lemak, which one is spaghetti noodle macam tu. So L is nasi lemak, and then M is fried noodle. So I'll just write FN, fried noodles. And then S is spaghetti. So spaghetti. Okay, enough. Just write short form, enough. Okay, now they say given NL equals to 20 and the NM is equals to 20. Okay, I want to ask you, can I go to, this one is L, right? Can I go here and write 20 like this? They say NL 20, right? So what's the meaning of NL? It means bilangan student dalam L is 20. Tapi tak boleh buat macam ni tau. You tak boleh tulis 20 dekat sini, salah. Sebab dia tak cakap only. Kalau dia kata L only 20, baru you boleh tulis macam ni. Kalau dia tak cakap only, maksudnya the 20 is not here, the 20 is here plus here plus here plus here. Sebab ini pun L. This one is also L. So the 20 you cannot just write straight away. Okay. Same with the NM20. You cannot just write 20. Yeah, the 20 is actually here plus here plus here plus here lah. Okay. And I can't find it now because yeah, there's too much information that I don't know. That's why I cannot find it now. So that one I leave it first. Next one, L intersect M intersect S is 4. Okay, this one you can write because L intersect M intersect S is the middle. Okay, so the middle, that one is 4. Okay, so that one sudah label. Next one is L intersect M is 5. Tapi dia tak cakap only ya. So L intersect M is 5. That means what? This is your L, this is your M. So mana dia punya persilangan, dia punya overlap. Dia punya overlap dekat sini kan. So the 5 have to minus 4 lah. And then you get 1 here. Okay, but what if they say L intersect M only ataupun L and M only? Then tak payah minus. Kalau dia ada perkataan only, maksudnya kalau contoh saya cakap L and M only. So L and M means L intersect M. That means sini je. Tak payah tolak dengan middle. Kalau dia ada perkataan only. But this one they never say only, right? They just say L intersect M is 5. That means it's including the 4. So that's why kena tolak lah. Okay, after writing this, I realized the 20 can use already. Remember the NL20 just now? And I told you, right, the 20 bukan macam tu, dia bukan macam ni. Dia adalah 4 kawasan ni tambah semua. So now you just press 20 minus 3 minus 4 minus 1 lah. So you will get 12. And then this total for here also 20 just now. So 20 minus 7 minus 1 minus 4, I think it's 18. Sorry, 8. Wait, let's check. 4 plus 7, 11 plus 1, 12. 20 minus 12, 8. Ya, betul. Okay, so this one sudah label, this one sudah label, this one sudah label. Alright, now just left with yang ini lah. Tapi yang ni tak tahu kan. This one is for spaghetti only. But there's no more information. Okay, tak apa, let's see what they want. Determine the number of students who like to eat fried noodles and spaghetti. Okay, so I don't think you need this lah. Ya, ya, saya tak perlukan ini. Ya, because they want to find fried noodle and spaghetti. Okay, kalau dia kata and means you ambil dia punya intersection. Kalau or means ambil union. So this one they asking for fried noodle and spaghetti. Fried noodle is this one. Spaghetti is this one. And dia kata and. And ada tak dia cakap only? Kalau dia ada cakap only, that means the answer is 8. Kalau dia ada cakap only ya. Kalau dia ada cakap only. So ini ada tak dia cakap only? Tak ada. Dia kata fried noodle and spaghetti. So 4 plus 8 dapat 12. And the reason why we can tambah these two number is because these are all bilangan element. That's why you don't see dot here. Kalau dia letak dot means dia element. Kalau tak ada dot dia bilangan. So bilangan boleh tambah. So that's why the answer is 12. Okay, that's how you do it. Okay. And remember the word only is very important because it will change the meaning. Kalau ada perkataan only, dia akan, the whole meaning change. Okay, hope you understand. Alright, 15 now. Diagram 10 shows a straight line JK. Okay, this is a straight line. Given the gradient of straight line JK is negative 4. Okay, they give you information M equals negative 4. Find the value of Q. Okay, I think it's referring to this Q right here. Okay, how do you find this Q? Just use the gradient to do lah. Yeah, because we all know gradient, the formula for gradient is y minus y over x minus x. But you need two coordinates. Yeah, you need two coordinates to find gradient. Okay, you have one coordinate which is 3 cubed, and you have another one here, which is at 5, 0. Not 0, 5, it's 5, 0. Hey, 5 is the x-intercept. So it should be y sama dengan kosong. Okay, now you can find the gradient. But I don't have the q, but it's okay. I have the gradient answer. So I will just do y minus y, q minus 0, which is q, and then over 3 minus 5, which is negative 2, equals to negative 4. So your q will be negative 4 times negative 2 is 8. So the answer is 8. Yeah, that's all. Alright, 16. Puan Sophia packed 23 kg of sweets for her daughter's first birthday party. So this is the total kg. She gave 7 times 10 power negative 1, which is 0.7 lah. Yeah, because 10 power negative 1 is 1 over 10. So it's basically 7 over 10, which is 0.7. 0.7. So remember, kalau power negative, dia boleh letak bawah. And when you letak bawah, dia akan jadi power positive lah. So 10 power negative 1 letak bawah jadi 10 power 1. And then nothing atas means 1 over 10. Alright, so this one is 0.7 kg she gave to her child. And then the remaining sweets were put into 180 small packs to be distributed to the guests. Calculate average mass in gram. Oh, very sneaky, They want in gram. Because you want all in kg, So gram of the sweets in each pack. Alright, let's find out the remaining sweets. So you have 23 kg. You start with that. And then you give away 0.7 kg. And then the remaining you go and put into 180 small packs. So you divide with 180. But when you tekan this, you will get in kg lah. Okay, and then later you have to convert to gram. Okay, so let's press this. So what do you get from here? 0.1239. Okay, okay, of course you have to convert to gram, so you have times 1000. So bam, bam, bam. So you get 123.9 gram. But if you look at A, B, C, D, there's no answer here. Well, actually there is an answer. It's just that they write in standard form. Standard form dalam bahasa Melayu is bentuk piawai. So let's talk about standard form bentuk piawai. Apa tu bentuk piawai? Bentuk piawai means you write your answer like this. A times 10 power n. Okay, and your A must be a number yang before decimal satu digit saja. I repeat, A is a number yang macam mana? Yang ada decimal, tapi before decimal ada satu digit, and that digit cannot be 0. For example, 2.3, macam tu. You see, before decimal ada satu digit. Dia tak boleh 23.5, tak boleh. Dia tak boleh macam ni. Sebab kalau macam ni, depan decimal ada dua digit. So kalau dia case macam ni, you have to move the decimal here. And when you move it here, the power here will change also. Okay. Okay, let's talk about how the power will change. When you move your decimal point to the left, your power here have to plus. But when you're moving to this direction, you have to minus. So for example, if it's 123.9 gram, if you want to change to standard form, what I have to do is move the decimal point to where? To here, right? So that it becomes 1.239. Okay, yeah, because you want the decimal to, why you want the decimal here point to be here is because you want, because if the decimal point is here, that means there's only one digit before the decimal, right? Okay, times 10 power berapa? Okay, you're moving to the left, so it's this direction, so the power here have to be positive 2. Okay, so now you can look for the answer. C lah, 1.239 is, when you round off, is 1.24 times 10 power 2, and it's in gram lah. Okay, so that's all. 17. Which of the following is the example of a weighted graph? Dalam bahasa Melayu, graph berpemberat. Okay, let's talk about weighted graph. Pemberat. Apa tu pemberat? Alright, if you if you are my student, you will know this. So weighted graph is what? Is when you have a value assigned the edges. And usually the value represents the information. Maybe price or distance or speed, yeah, or time taken, yeah. So that's what we call a weighted graph. Is when we assign a value to every single edge in the graph, and of course the value will represent some information. Okay, so let's see. A, the current value of an electric circuit. B, sports tournament schedule. C, information in the organizational chart. D, tree map. Okay, I think the answer is very obvious. It's A lah. They already say the word value, right? So when you have a current value on the electric circuit, that means you have a value assigned to the edge. So this one, sports tournament schedule, no. Yeah, there, like usually there's nothing on the edge, on the line for the schedule. Information organizational chart, no. Free map, no. Yeah, so the only answer that makes sense here is A, right? Because it's weighted lah. Okay. Weighted graph dia mesti ada satu value dekat dia punya edge. Okay. Okay, let's continue with 18. Okay, diagram 11 shows a right angle triangle KLM. Alright, this one memang the favorite shape lah. In SPM maths exam, they always ask this shape. So right angle triangle, given that KN is NL, so KN is here, NL is here, so this one also 6, so the whole line here is 12 lah. Okay, calculate the length of MN, which is here. Okay, I'll tell you straight away, you have to use Pythagoras theorem to do this question. Okay, you have to use Pythagoras theorem. So let's talk about right angle triangle. This shape, why is it so famous in the exam? Because you can use two methods to, there's two formulas that you can use for this shape. First formula is called the Pythagoras theorem. A square plus B square C equals to C square. But make sure your C is the longer side hypotenuse. The other formula you can use is the SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. Okay, SOHCAHTOA, you use it when you have angle. Or maybe you want to find angle. You can use it when, let's say, you have two sides, but you don't want to find the side. You want to find the angle instead. Then you can use SOHCAHTOA. Or maybe sometimes you have one angle one side and you're trying to find the remaining the other side. That one also can use SOHCAHTOA. Like that. Okay. So these are the two formulas lah. But I know I will not be using the SOHCAHTOA for this question because there's no angle given here, and I realized they also asking me to find the panjang MN. So yeah, we will use Pythagoras theorem. Okay, first what we have to do is we have to use Pythagoras theorem, find this panjang first. Because we have the big triangle, here is 12, here is 20, here is 12. So to find the LM, is just square root, bracket square, sini 20, sini 12, and you have to minus or plus? Minus. Minus, because this is not the longer side, it's not the hypotenuse. Okay, when you're not finding the longer side, you have to minus. So you will tekan this, you will get the 16. But of course 16 is just here. The soalan asks for MN. So now you use the small right angle triangle and then do Pythagoras again lah. So square root, okay, it will be bracket square, bracket square. This time the other two side is 6 and 16. Okay, this time you have to plus. Why? Because because it is like you're finding the longer side. When you cari side yang paling panjang, the hypotenuse, you will always plus. Okay, tekan this, you get 17.09. and that will be the answer. And the unit is in cm. Okay lah, but this is paper 1, so yeah, the unit is not that important. Okay, so that's all. 19, this one is definitely from 4 chapter 6, the linear inequalities chapter. Dalam bahasa Melayu, ketaksamaan linear. Okay. Alright, diagram 12 shows the region that satisfies two linear inequalities in two variables. Okay. So they give you the equation of this line already, and this line also they give you the equation. Based on the region labeled ABCD, determine the region that satisfies this inequality and this one. Right. Okay, the first one is x bigger equals y minus 2. Okay, when your line is horizontal and you want bigger, you have to lorek atas, smaller you lorek bawah. But if your line is vertical, you kena tengok kiri kanan. Kalau bigger lorek kanan, smaller lorek kiri. But what if your line is sengit? Okay, or maybe sengit like that. Okay, I always tell my student this. For sengit punya line, jangan tengok kiri kanan. Kalau you tengok kiri kanan, you confuse. You will get confused, definitely. So you tengok atas bawah, remember that. So kalau sengit, atas bigger, bawah smaller. Same with the sengit like this, atas bigger, bawah smaller. Jangan tengok kiri kanan unless it's a vertical line. Kalau dia straight vertical macam tu, baru tengok kiri kanan. Kalau tak, tengok atas bawah, tengok atas bawah. So start with this. X bigger equals y minus 2. We all can agree this line is referring to this line. So, tapi saya kena ambil kawasan atas garisan or bawah garisan. Which one? Tengok simbol. Dia tulis apa? Bigger, right? Tapi kena ambil kawasan bawah. So, kenapa bigger ambil kawasan bawah? Because you have to make sure the y is positive on the left side. Baru you boleh tengok dia punya simbol. So, kalau you punya equation ada y, kena tengok dari y. Okay, and your y usually we recommend put it on the left side. So let me explain why. So the y have to pindah here jadi negative y, and then bigger equals x pindah sana jadi negative x minus 2. And then when you pindah the negative, you kena tukar tanda jadi x minus 2 tukar tanda jadi plus 2. And when you tukar tanda macam ni, what you are actually doing is you dividing by negative 1. So when this bahagi negative, what happens to the symbol? Dia kena flip, dia kena terbalik. So bigger jadi smaller dah. So sekarang you faham kenapa kena lorek bawah? Sebab dia smaller. So remember y dia mesti positive on the left side baru boleh tengok. Alright, what about this? Y plus x bigger than 12. Do I have to pindah the x there? Okay, kalau nak pindah boleh juga. Tapi bazir masa saja. What we care about is the y being positive on the left side. Kalau you punya y sudah positive on the left side, tak payah buat, tak payah pindah apa dah. So this one is already y positive on the left side. So boleh terus tengok dia punya simbol bigger. But it's referring to this line. And bigger means ambil atas garisan ni. So it's here and here. So the overlap region is D lah. Okay, cannot bulat A because A dia hanya satisfy one of the inequality. C also. D is the only region because you can see dua-dua pun dia overlap dekat sini. So D is the final answer. And one last thing I want to mention, kenapa dia guna dash line dekat sini? Kenapa dia guna garisan putus-putus? Sebab untuk inequality ni dia tak ada equal. Dia bigger than 12. Okay, dia tak ada tulis bigger equals 12. So bila dia tak ada equal, we have to use dash line. We have to use dotted line. Alright. Okay, so that's the answer. Okay, let's do 20. Diagram 13 shows two quadrilaterals P and Q. Okay, this looks like a transformation question. Okay, now this says given that Q is image of P under clockwise rotation of 90. Okay, I was about to say because when I look at this, yeah, I have a feeling that it's rotation 90 already, but they already say it here. Okay, I know it's not enlargement definitely because it's same size, and I know it's not translation. So it's reflect or rotate, and the method I teach my student is you can draw lines, but you have to join to the corresponding point lah. And if you join all the corresponding point, if the line are all parallel, that means it's reflection. And if the line all intersect nicely at one point, then it's rotation 180, and this is the center of rotation. Okay, and it's rotation 180. But if it's not these two case, then it's rotation 90. Okay, but we don't have to test for that because this question already tell you straight away. They already say memang this is rotation 90. But you have to baca which one is the image. Q is image of P. So I'll label here, this one is I, this one is O lah. And then determine the center of rotation. Okay, for rotation 90 degree, how do you find the center? You have to draw the perpendicular bisector, right? You can use the compass method also can, or you can also do it without using compass. In my last maths paper, I did the Selangor paper. And in the Selangor paper 2 video, Selangor maths paper 2 video, I teach using the method yang tak payah guna compass. Yeah, just using ruler. Okay. So if you all want the detailed explanation, go watch it in the Selangor. Yeah, the thumbnail is pink color one. Okay, but for now I will do it for this question. So first step, join the corresponding point. But you don't simply join, you don't go and join like that and then don't join like that and then join like that. No, 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 no. Dia mesti join dengan point yang sama dengan dia ataupun yang sepadan. It has to be corresponding. So how do you know which one is corresponding? Let's say this one. So you can see this one is two sangat line and it's here. So two sangat line, not this one. Two sangat line. Okay, this one. So this one join with this. Ini baru betul ba. And then this one is the tajam one. So it's wait. 1 2 1 2 2. So 1 2 1 2 2 A. Okay, did I make a mistake here? Let me double check. Uh, okay. All right. I know this line is definitely this line, right? Dua kotak, dua kotak. So I think dia flip macam tu. Yeah, I think dia flip macam ni. This one here. Yeah. And then this one is like that. Yeah, definitely. Definitely is like this. Yeah, because it's like the whole thing. Yeah, the whole thing rotate like that. Yeah. Okay, and then what comes after is this one. So this one from here is 3 2 like that. So 3 2 3 2. This one lah. Yeah. And then the next one is this one with this. Okay. So as you can see, yeah, it's not rotation 180 lah. Kalau rotation 180, dia punya line tak sepatutnya macam ni. Okay. So how do you find the rotation center? You can choose any of these two lines and then draw perpendicular bisector. But make sure the two lines you choose from here, they are not parallel. Because if they are parallel, then it's very difficult. It will be difficult later. Okay. So I will choose two lines that is not parallel to each other. Okay. Okay, I think the horizontal line I will choose. Yeah, the horizontal line is good because it's easy to draw perpendicular bisector for a horizontal line. And then the other line, I think I will choose this one. So this one I will remove it. Okay, so I'm left with these two lines. Now it's time to do perpendicular bisector. And it's good to choose these two lines because they are not parallel. Okay. All right. For the horizontal line, how to draw the perpendicular bisector? Just go to the midpoint and then draw a 90-degree line. So where's the midpoint? Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the middle will be 6 divided by 2, which is 3 kotak. So you count from the hujung here, 1, 2, 3. So this is the midpoint. And what you have to do is draw a 90-degree line. And you don't need compass for this. Just use a ruler. Okay. Okay, I'll use different color, maybe blue color. Okay, so this blue color line is the perpendicular bisector. The first perpendicular bisector. Now for the second perpendicular bisector, is for this line. All right, how do you fall in perpendicular bisector? Okay, if using compass, you can just cucuk here, lukis atas, lukis bawah, and then cucuk here, lukis atas, lukis bawah, and then join lah. But if you are like me, you don't like using compass, you can use this method. First, you count the horizontal distance because when you find perpendicular bisector, basically you need to know the midpoint, right? And it's very obvious lah. The midpoint is here. Okay, yeah, because just use because from here to here, the horizontal distance is 4 kotak. Right? 4 kotak from here to here. And when you divide by 2, you end up with 2 kotak. So the midpoint is here, exactly on the line like this. Okay. And after you know the midpoint, now your job is to do the 90-degree line. Okay. How to do it without using compass? Very simple. Just place your ruler here. Place your ruler here like this. And then you take your pencil and then just draw the line like this. And then you'll be 90-degree already lah. And then what happens? You move down your ruler. You shift down your ruler here. And then extend the line panjang sikit supaya dia intersect dengan the blue color line. Okay. Alright, so that's what I'm gonna do now. Okay. So you will just take like that and then just, so I assume, okay, it's lebih kurang macam ni lah. Yeah, like that. Okay. Okay, now it's time to find out the center. Where is the center? Okay, you don't tell me here, here, here or here. This is all wrong. Okay, I pernah tengok student macam ni tau. Dia pandai buat itu perpendicular bisector. Tapi after do perpendicular bisector, they choose the wrong point for the center. Hey guys, you have to choose the intersection of the two perpendicular bisector. Not the red color line. The red color line is It's not the perpendicular bisector. The blue color line is the perpendicular bisector. That's why I purposely use different color. Eh? So in exam you also try to, okay, but in exam you can't use pen when drawing, right? So maybe you can make it bold for the perpendicular bisector, so you know which one is the perpendicular bisector line. So the actual center is this one lah, -2, -1. So B boy is the answer. Okay, and let me tell you, it's 90-degree clockwise or anti-clockwise. All right, since the center is here, the cross is here, right? So this one is clockwise from object to image. Yeah, it's rotate 90-degree clockwise with the center -2, -1. Okay, yeah. All right, that's all. Okay, let's do 21. Okay, express x square minus 4 over x square minus 2x in simplest form. Means they want you to simplify lah. Okay, kalau nak simplify, first we factorize completely first. Yang boleh factorize, kita factorize dulu. So x square minus 4 is a quadratic and you can factorize this by using differences in square. When you have a square minus b square, dia boleh jadi a minus b, a plus b. Tapi dia wajib minus, dia mesti minus. Tambah tak boleh. Okay, so x square minus 4, you all know 4 can change to square. And kenapa saya buat macam tu? Sebab saya nak jadi dia form macam ni, a square minus b square, supaya saya boleh buka bracket macam ni and factorize completely. So dia akan jadi x minus 2x tambah 2. Sebab saya punya a, b adalah x dan 2. Like that. Okay, for bawah pula x square minus 2x. Okay, yang ni kita boleh faktorkan juga, tapi bukan guna cara yang sama macam ni. Yang ni kita faktor macam mana? Okay, x square and 2x, these two terms, they both can divide by what? Dua-dua term ni boleh bahagi dengan apa? X square dengan 2x boleh bahagi dengan x. Maksudnya saya boleh faktor x keluar macam tu. And when you take x square bahagi dengan x, you tinggal x. Negative 2x bahagi dengan x, tinggal negative 2. And since hubungan semua darab, boleh potong. Yeah, it's like something darab something over something darab something. So semua darab boleh potong macam ni. So tinggal x plus 2 over x. So the answer is B boy. 22. A train moves at a speed of x kilometer per hour for the first 3 hours and x plus 20 kilometer per hour for the next 2 hours. Also ada two different speed. For the first 3 hour dia punya laju x, tapi next 2 hours dia punya laju dia accelerate ataupun dia punya meningkat dah dia punya speed. Okay, determine the expression for the total distance traveled by the train. Okay, dia bagi speed, bagi time, tapi nak cari distance, nak cari jarak. So macam mana? Okay, macam mana nak kaitkan speed, time and distance? What formula can we use to relate speed, time and distance in one equation? What formula we can use? This formula lah, speed equals distance over time. But of course, you have to make sure the unit here must be km per hour, then the time must be in km, this one must be in hours. That's the only way, right? Okay, so for the train moving at the speed of x, so this one is x. Distance over time, okay, distance kita nak cari, and it will automatically count in kilometer. And then the time you have to make sure it's in hours 3 like that. So to find the distance here is 3x lah. And I told you the unit will be in meter, km, sorry. km. Tapi belum siap. Because for the next 2 hours, dia punya speed x plus 20. So the speed here have to write x plus 20, and then the distance travel kita nak cari, and then the time is next 2 hours, so 2 lah. So to find the distance in km is like 2x plus 40 lah. Sebab bila you ambil satu term darab dua term, dia kena dua-dua kena darab. So this is the distance for the next 2 hours. This is the distance for the first 3 hours. So the expression for the total distance, yang ni tambah dengan ni lah. So what is 3x plus 2x plus 40? 5x plus 40. So A is the answer. Okay, 23. Okay, this one is a lower form chapter. Yeah, you learn this in like form 2, form 3. I think it's from, okay, I'm not sure lah, tak ingat lah. Tapi ini you learn in form 2, form 3. Yeah, the angle inside circle, right? Okay, let's go. Diagram 14 shows a circle at center O. Okay, this one not important. EOR is diameter of circle. This one is very important. So if O is the center and I draw a line across like that, that line is called diameter. And what's so special about diameter? Okay, diameter, kalau dia tarik two lines to the side macam tu, dia mesti 90. Tak kisah dia tarik ke mana. Tarik sini pun 90, tarik sini pun 90. Mana-mana dia tarik, as long as dia tarik sampai side, dia mesti 90 degree. So tell me, if POR is diameter, dekat mana 90? Sini kan? But the 90 is including here also, is here. Dia including this small part. Ya, termasuk Sudut kecil ni. Yeah, the 90 is the total. Alright, and if this is 90, this is 30, can I find this? Yes, 60. Because this is a triangle. So the sudut mesti 180. So 180 tolak 90 tolak 30 dapat 60. But the soalan ask to find K. So macam mana nak cari K? Senang saja. Guna cyclic quadrilateral. So let me highlight it for you. Alright, red color, not so dark, maybe 50%. Okay, this thing right here, bam, 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 bam. Alright, I have a tips for you guys. So whenever you're doing this kind of question, always look for cyclic quadrilateral. Okay, always look for this cyclic quadrilateral. And if you have cyclic quadrilateral, then it's good lah. But if don't have, then nothing you can do lah. But most question they ask have the cyclic quadrilateral, so you look for it. Okay, what is cyclic quadrilateral? Cyclic quadrilateral means when you have a quadrilateral inside a circle and all the bucu is on the side. All the bucu is on the side. Then you can use this formula. Okay, let's call this angle ABCD. So the A plus C will be 180, and then the B plus D will also be 180. Only if it's quadrilateral, only if it's cyclic quadrilateral. And dia mesti bucu dia on the side. Kalau tak ada on the side, then tak boleh guna formula. Okay. Okay, so tell me now, how to find K? I already highlight red color for you the cyclic quadrilateral. So if this is 65, boleh tak saya ambil 180 tolak 65 untuk dapat jumlah sini? Boleh kan? So 180 minus 65 dapat berapa? Okay, let's use calculator. 180 minus 65. Okay, my calculator give me 115. And the 115 is not the answer. Is the total sudut from here to here. So now how to find K? 115 minus 60. And you will get 55. Okay, yeah, so that's all. Okay, 24. Given that the interquartile range and the standard deviation of a set of data is 14.8, 8.6. So this is the IQR, interquartile range, and then this is the standard deviation. Okay, the symbol for standard deviation is like this. Okay. Okay, each value of the data is divided by 4 and subtracted by 2. Okay, each value means setiap nilai. Every single value, I modify them. How I modify? I bahagi 4 and then tolak 2. And then calculate the new interquartile range and the new standard deviation. Okay, for measures of dispersion, kalau you take every value bahagi 4 divide minus 2, the 2 will not affect. Yeah, for measures of dispersion, when you adding when you take each value tambah 2 or tambah 3 or tambah or tolak anything, dia takkan affect. Okay, so you will only affect when you multiply, when you take each value multiply by something or dividing by something. So this one is divide by 4, right? So your new IQR will be have to divide 4. So you take 14.8 divide by 4 here. So you get 3.7. So this is wrong, this is wrong. And then what about the standard deviation? Also divide by 4. The subtract 2 no need, because when you subtract 2, it will not affect the measures of dispersion. Yeah, when you take every single value minus 2 or plus 2 also, tak kisah tambah tolak berapa, dia takkan affect measures of dispersion. Okay, so the answer is 2.15. So D is the answer. Okay, so let's talk more details about measures of dispersion. Measures of dispersion ada 4 it's called sukatan serakan. So kita ada range, IQR, variance, and standard deviation. And all these things will not get affected when you take each value, add by K or subtract by K, and the K can be anything lah. They will only get affected when you multiply by K or dividing by K. But it has to be each value, semua value. Okay, so I'll give you my notes here. Okay, so what I'll write here, let's see. So I will write like this. When each value times ataupun divide with K. And dia mesti each value. Each value means setiap nilai. Kalau satu nilai saja cannot, then tak boleh guna formula ni. Dia kalau contoh satu nilai saja yang darab K, then we cannot use this formula. Okay. Tapi kalau setiap nilai darab K ataupun bahagi dengan K, boleh guna formula ni. Okay, formula dia macam ni. For new range, just take the old range, darab ataupun bahagi dengan K, depending on what you do for how you modify the data lah. Okay, for new IQR, same thing. Just take the old IQR, darab ataupun bahagi dengan K depending on what you do. Maybe darab 4 or divide 4, or like for this question is divide 4. So ikut lah. Okay, for variance you have to be careful. For variance you have to take the whole variance darab atau bahagi dengan K square. This one you have to be careful. Sebab dia ada K square. And then the last one is new standard deviation. This one is just take the old standard deviation, darab atau bahagi dengan K. Right? So, this is my notes for you. So, what you have to take note here? This one. This one. So, kalau each value, every single value you darab dengan K ataupun bahagi dengan K, find the new variance, dia akan darab dengan K, bahagi dengan K juga, tapi kena ada square. Ya, for variance saja macam tu. The rest tak ada. The rest tak ada. Okay. Then sir, what if this one is tambah dengan K ataupun tolak dengan K? I told you already, tambah tolak K, kalau each value tambah K tolak K, dia takkan affect you punya measures of dispersion. You punya range IQR variance standard deviation will end up the same. So dia tak affect. Cuma darab bahagi saja affect. And how it affects, inilah saya sudah bagi nota. So make sure you know this lah. Okay, I think I'm done. So okay, so you faham kan kenapa yang ni tak payah bahagi 4 square? Sebab ini divide by 4. And we are not finding variance. We are finding for standard deviation. So 8.6 bahagi 4 also lah. Macam tu. Okay, that's all. Now we do 25. Let's go. Table 2 shows the record of weight in kg pupils of class 5 Amanah. Okay, this is definitely a form 5 chapter. The measures of dispersion for group data. Dalam bahasa Melayu, sukatan serakan data terkumpul. Okay, macam mana saya tahu dia group data ke ungroup data? Okay, senang je. Kalau dia ada bagi kelas, dia adalah group data. And this is group data. Okay, sebab dia ada bagi kelas. And this one confirm is the frequency, the kekerapan. Okay, given the estimated mean is 23.25, determine value of X. Okay, the formula for mean is you take the sum of the data divide with N. Tapi sometimes dia punya data adalah group data. Ada frekuensi. So kita kena guna formula ni. Sum of fx divide with the sum of f. Okay. Okay, for this case, we will not be using this formula. We will be using this. Sebab kita punya data ada frekuensi. So what we have to do is we have to take the frequency darab dengan x. Okay, this one is the x lah. But your x, kalau dia bagi group data, you have to use the midpoint for the x. Maksudnya, for group data yang ada frekuensi, kita kena ambil midpoint darab frekuensi. And then jumlahkan, and then baru bahagi dengan jumlah frekuensi. Okay. Alright, so let's find out the midpoint. Okay, how to find midpoint titik tengah? Just take 40 plus 44, lepas tu tekan bahagi 2. Okay, you get 42 here, and then this one same thing, 45 plus 49 divide 2, 47. This one same thing, 52, 57, 62. Lepas tu, cari min. So, bila cari min, dia akan jadi apa? 42 times 4. Midpoint darab frequency, and then plus 47 times 3 plus 52 times x, which is 52x. Okay, so x tu tak ada kan? Tapi tak apa. Sebab nanti ada min punya jawapan, so you boleh pindah, cari balik lah. And then plus 57 times 8. And then plus the last one, 62 times 5. And then you kena bahagi dengan total frequency, 4 plus 3 plus x plus 8 plus 5. 4 plus 3 plus x plus 8 plus 5. And the whole thing equals to 53.25. Yang ini soalan yang bagi, bukan saya yang tulis sendiri, dia yang bagi. Okay, how to find x now? Okay, nombor hanya boleh tambah dengan nombor sahaja. So yang x tu biarkan 4 plus 3, 7 plus 8, 15 plus 5, 20. And then yang 52x tu tak boleh tambah. So yang tu tulis dulu, tekan ni, tambah ni, tambah ni, tambah ni. Alright. Okay, my calculator give me 1075. Okay. And then equals to 53.25. Okay. Alright, how do you continue from here? Okay, hilangkan fraction lah. Hilangkan fraction sebab sini ada fraction. So macam ni hilangkan, pindah atas jadi darab. So dia akan jadi 52x tambah dengan 1075 equals. Okay, 53.25 is one single term, but you have to multiply with two terms. It means 53.25 kena darab x. Lepas tu darab dengan 20. So you akan dapat 53.25x tambah dengan, okay, yang ni boleh tekan kalkulator, 53.25 darab 20. So dapat berapa? 1065. Okay, how to find x? Alright, x dengan x boleh buat, nombor dengan nombor boleh buat. Tapi ini kena pindah sana dulu lah. Okay, the reason I pindah on this side is because I want my x to be positive. 53.25 minus 52, I will get 1.25x. And then 1065 pergi kiri, 75 minus 65 is 10. So x equals 10 bahagi 1.25, which is 10 times 4 divided 5, which is 8. So the answer is A because the soalan asked for X. So this is the answer. Okay. Okay, feel free to use your calculator to help you. Don't forget your exam boleh bawa calculator. So boleh guna calculator untuk bantu awak. Okay, let's do 26. This is matrix question from 5 chapter 2. Given that E is a 2 by 2 matrix. 2 times 2 means 2 row 2 column. Maksudnya matrix ni dia ada 2 baris 2 lajur macam tu, 2 times 2. Okay, so this one is P. Okay, the P negative 1 means the P inverse is 1 over 1 times 6 minus 4 negative 3 M negative 4 N 1. Determine the values of M and N. Okay, they give you the inverse but then ask you to find back the original matrix. Alright, we all know the formula to find inverse. So if I have matrix A, small b, small c, small d, the A inverse will be what? 1 over AD minus BC and then bracket DA, the AD tukar tempat jadi DA, the BC tukar tanda jadi negative B, negative C. Okay, sudah siap. This is the formula to find inverse matrix. Tapi ini dia sudah bagi letak nilai semua tu and kita kena tukar balik jadi normal matrix. Alright, so we all can focus on this first. Yeah. So you can see from here, this is actually the same with this. It's just you tukar tempat kan? Tukar tempat. So if this is M1, this must be 1M. And I know for sure the M is 6. Yeah, the M is 6 because when I do yang bawah ni kita ambil A darab D kan. So here they write 1 times 6. So 1M, 1, 6. So M is 6. Not negative 6. It's 6. It's 6. It's 6. So I know A and B wrong already. Okay. Okay, now we focus on this part, negative 4N. Okay, yang ni I told you kena tukar tanda. So yang ni akan jadi 4. And then what do you think is N here? They already write here. It's negative 3. But is it negative 3 or 3? 3. It's 3. Because when you ambil negative 4N, you kena tukar tanda for both. Tukar tanda for both. So negative 4 here become negative N. But then here they write 4 times negative 3, 4 times 3. So D is the answer. Okay, if you're not confident, what you can do? You can try to find the inverse of this and see whether it match with this. So 1 over 1 times 6 minus 4 times 3. Wait. Did I did something wrong here? Okay, guys, I think this one is... if it's 1, 4, 3, 6. 1 times 6 minus 4 times 3, but it's not the same, right? Wait, let me think about it. Okay, apa yang dia suruh cari? Nilai M dengan N. Tapi matrix P. So, does that mean this one is negative? So, yeah, I think this one is negative, guys. Yeah, this one is negative. Yeah, so it should be 1 times 6 minus 4 times negative 3 like that. Then baru dia match dengan sini kan. And then buka bracket, 1 dengan 6 tukar tempat, 4 dengan negative 3 tukar tanda negative 4, negative 3. So yeah, this one already match with this. Exactly sama. So this one dengan this one boleh banding juga. So negative 4, 1, negative 4, 1. So M should be 6 and then N should be negative 3. If like that, then the answer is C already. We ran into some error here. 6, 3. Hey, wait. Wait. 1 over 1 times 6 minus 4 times negative 3 this side, betul? 1 and 6 tukar tempat jadi 6, 1. 4 and negative 3 kena tukar tanda. So this one should be 3 lah. Okay, betul dah. Jawapan dia D. Cuma saya yang careless. Saya lupa tukar tanda sini. Yeah, because the 4 and negative 3 kena tukar tanda mah. 4 jadi negative 4, negative 3 jadi 3 lah. So, N sama dengan 3, M sama dengan 6. So, the answer is D. Ya, sudah betul. It's just I careless. Ya, I lupa buka tanda sini. So mistake on my part. But this is the correct answer. Okay. Alright, hope you understand. I'll continue. Okay, let's do 27. Pei Hua has X stamps in and Maniam has Y stamp. Okay, they both have different amount of stamp. If Pei Hua give 15 stamp to Maniam, then they will have the same number of stamps. Oh, they ask like that. Okay, tak apa, we read the whole thing first. Nanti baru kita start thinking. Okay, sekarang kita baca dulu. If Maniam give 30 stamp to Pei Hua, then the ratio of Pei Hua stamp to Maniam's stamp will become 5:2. Oh my god. And then express the situation in the form of matrix. So look at the jawapan, they all bagi dalam bentuk matrix. Okay guys, this is definitely you have to form your own two equation dulu. Lepas tu you when you trying to do simultaneous equation using the matrix method, you tulis dalam bentuk matrix, right? So yeah, this is definitely that. Yeah, you have to form the two equation first lah. Okay, let's read carefully. Pei Hua give 15 stamp to Maniam. So Pei Hua ada X. So bila dia bagi 15 to Maniam, dia punya stamp dah jadi 15 dah. But they said they will have the same number of stamp afterwards. So the Y like that lah. X minus 15 go Y plus 15. Yeah, when Pei Hua give 15, dia tinggal X minus 15 and then Maniam jadi Y plus 15. But since they say they will have same number afterwards, that means boleh equal. So dia akan jadi, usually when we write in matrix form, for simultaneous equation, when we write in matrix form, we have to write the form like this. AX plus BY equals C like that. Yeah, we have to write in this form. So let's susun sikit. X plus Y jadi minus Y sama dengan 30 macam ni. So that's your first equation. Okay, now they say if Maniam give 30 stamps to Pei Hua, then the ratio of Pei Hua to Maniam would become 5:2. Okay, Pei Hua ratio Maniam equals to 5:2. But this is after Maniam give 30 stamp to Pei Hua. So if Maniam give 30, Maniam punya Y kena tolak dengan 30, and then Pei Hua punya X kena tambah 30. Equals to 5/2. So remember, nisbah ratio memang boleh tukar jadi bahagi. If I say 5:2 means 5/2. Okay, now I will darab silang and then susun in this format. Tulis dalam form ni. Sebab kalau macam ni baru boleh tukar jadi matrix form. Okay, 2 times X plus 30 is 2X plus 60. 5 times Y minus 30 is 5Y. 5 times negative 150. Tapi kena susun dalam form ni. So kena tulis X dulu. Lepas tu 5Y hantar jadi minus 5Y. And then the number on the other side, negative 150 minus 60 is negative 210. Okay. Okay, I think this one I can write it like this. Minus 5 equals negative 210. Alright, now I will use these two equations to change to the matrix form. Okay, when we write in matrix form, make sure, first is you have to make sure dia punya susunan kena macam ni dulu. X, Y, and then number on the other side. Lepas tu, the first bracket, you can write the berkali for XY. The number before XY. So 1, negative 1, 2, negative 5. And then the next bracket, you have to write the XY. Okay, dia tulis X dulu. So yang tu dekat atas. And then Y afterwards, that one dekat bawah. And then this one is 30, negative 210. Okay, now you go to A, B, C, D. You see which one match with this. Okay, I know this is... Hold on. Why is it like that? Oh, tak ada jawapan kan? Because 1, negative 1, 2. Okay, I think I know why. I think what you have to do here, okay, because no answer, right? Yeah, because no answer. So I think what you have to do is tukar tanda for everyone in this equation. Okay, yeah, it means you take this equation, everything bahagi negative 1. Yeah, because this is paper 1. Yeah, you must bulat the answer. So I think this one, what you can do is you tukar tanda lah. Because you can see other negatives sini kan. So this negative actually you can pindah here. But when you pindah here, these two also have to tukar tanda. And since the negative come from here, that means the 210 itself also tukar jadi positive. So basically what you're doing is semua orang tukar tanda lah. So what happens? Yang ni jadi 5, yang ni jadi 210, and then yang ni jadi negative 2 like that. So basically this becomes negative 2x plus 5y equals to 210. Like that. That's why the number is 1, negative 1, and then negative 2, 5. Negative 2, 5, and then xy 30, and then positive 210. Okay, let's check whether I have answer this time. 1, 1, 2, 5. Yeah, A is the answer. B, no. Y got 150 here. This one lagi teruk. This one also, yeah, the number not same. So A lah, A is the answer. Okay. Yeah, so remember for equation kalau you nak tukar tanda boleh. Yeah, tapi make sure semua orang pun kena tukar tanda. And make sure you know that when you tukar tanda, what you're basically doing is you're dividing by -1. Yeah, you ambil semua nilai, semua term bahagi -1. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Number 28. This looks like a probability question. A bag contains 25 blue and yellow balls. Okay, I think what it means is 25 is the total, and then you have some of it is blue, some of it is yellow. Okay, it is found that the number of yellow balls exceed the number of blue balls by 7. A pupil select the ball at random from bag, calculate probability of selecting a blue ball. Okay, dia langsung tak bagi tahu bilangan blue berapa, yellow berapa. Tapi ada satu clue dekat sini, ada satu information. Yellow exceed blue by 7. So I can let the blue jadi X. Ya, I anggapkan bilangan blue ball tu X, and yellow will be X plus 7 lah. Sebab yellow dia exceed number of blue by 7. So dia melebihi biru sebanyak 7. So dia akan jadi X tambah 7 sini. And then a pupil select a ball at random from the bag. So dia select ball, calculate probability of selecting blue ball. Okay, the blue probability will be X over X plus 7. But of course you have to cari X dulu. Alright, very easy to find X because the jumlah is 25. Maksudnya X tambah dengan X tambah 7 sama dengan 25. And kalau dia tambah 2, okay, yang bracket ni boleh padam. Sebab dia tambah dengan 2 term. When you tambah 2 term, the bracket is not important. But if it's minus 2 term, then you have to be careful because when you minus with 2 terms, both the 2 terms have to tukar tanda, right? Tapi kalau tambah tak payah. So X plus X is 2X, 7 go there, jadi 18. X equals to 9, that means this is 9, this one is 9 plus 7, 16. But I want probability of blue. Okay, the formula to write probability is always bilangan atas and then jumlah bawah. Alright, the bilangan atas kena letak bilangan blue lah. For probability of blue, bilangan blue berapa? 9. And then total is 25. So the answer is 9 over 25. Okay. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, let's do 29. Sharil wants to buy a car priced at 63,000 ringgit in a year. So that's the car price. He plans to apply a bank loan of 50,000. Bank loan means dia nak pinjam bank. Okay. And then the balance to be paid as a down payment. Bayaran pendahuluan. Calculate the minimum monthly savings required if his current savings is 10500. Okay, dia punya kereta 63,000. But when we buy car, we will pay the down payment dulu. Lepas tu balance baru kita pinjam bank. So the goal is the down payment. The goal is the down payment. Okay. So what you have to do now? 63,000, but this one is within a year. 1 tahun dia nak beli kereta tu. But dalam 1 tahun dia tak perlu save 63,000. No. He doesn't need to save this. Dia hanya perlu save ini je. 63,000 minus 50,000. Okay. Yeah, because the rest you can pay using down loan, using bank loan. Okay. So within a year, how much you need to save? 63,000 minus 50,000. So you get 13,000. So this is the amount he need to save in 1 year. Okay, calculate the minimum total savings required if his current savings is 10500. Okay, if his current saving is already this, then berapa lagi yang dia kena save? Okay, 13,000 tolak dengan 10500, dapatlah. Alright, berapa? Let me press 3,000 minus 500. 2,000, 63000 minus 500. My calculator give me 2,500. 2,500. But if you look at ABCD tak ada kan? Okay, you know why It's because this one is within a year. So 2,500 is the amount he need to save within a year. Within a year. But they want the minimum monthly savings. Minimum means bigger or equals. It means sekurang-kurangnya berapa yang dia kena save 1 bulan. Ini yang dia kena save 1 tahun. So you have to divide with 12 lah. You divide with 12, then you get the minimum monthly savings. So let's tekan 2500 bahagi 12. So my calculator give me 208.33333. So it's roughly 208.33, right? But you have to bulat C. You have to bulat C. Because minimum means sekurang-kurangnya dia kena save berapa. So you have to choose jawapan yang bigger or equals 208.33. Kenapa 208 tak boleh? Sebab 208 tak cukup 208.33. Because I told you minimum means you kena pilih jawapan yang bigger equals. So if you bulat 208 salah. Because 208 is not bigger than 208.33. So 208 tu tak cukup sebenarnya. Okay. Then sir, why don't you bulat 1083, 1084? Ini pun bigger mah. Ini pun bigger. Okay. Saya tak bulat A dengan B sebab dia nak minimum. So the minimum should be 209. The minimum yang dia kena save is 209. Of course, if you save 1083, itu lagi bagus. You will reach the goal faster, of course, if you save this amount. Sebab lagi banyak saving, lagi cepat lah you boleh mencapai goal tu. Tapi dia nak minimum. Maksudnya kita pilih bigger equals. Maksudnya kita pilih jawapan yang ini ataupun lebih sikit. Lebih sikit. Lebih but we have to choose answer that is bigger or equals than this, but at the same time is the nearest one, the minimum one. So it's 209. Okay. Okay, hopefully my explanation makes sense to you, and yeah, I'll just continue. All right, 30. This looks like a measures of dispersion, but it doesn't look like group data to me. So maybe it's from 4, the ungrouped data lah. Table 3 shows the scores obtained in a competition. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the frequency. So this is the X, this is the F. All right, given the median is 3, which of the following is the possible values of X? Okay, median is the middle value. Is the middle value. Okay, nilai yang dekat middle. The middle of the data basically. Okay, there is a formula to find median. Okay, Q2 means median. Q2 is the symbol for median. The formula is n plus 1 divide 2. But this formula will only tell you the position. So the TH here represents position. Okay, so if you use this formula, they will tell you the exact position of the median. They will not tell you the median, but the position of the median. Okay, so what's the meaning of score 0, frequency 3? That means the first number until the third number, they are all zeros. It means you start with 0, 0, 0, like that's what it means. Frequency means kekerapan. It means berapa kali dia muncul. So kalau kekerapan dia 3, means kosong ni dia muncul 3 kali. 1, 4 means 1 ni muncul 4 kali. You get the idea. But we will not be doing it like this because it's too slow kalau you list satu-satu macam ni. So I will just write it like this. Write the position bawah. Alright, for this it will be starting the 4th number, and then 3 plus 4 gives you 7. So the 4th number until the 7th number, these are all 1. And then this will be continue lah, 8 until 7 plus 7 is 14. And then this one is 15. And then 14 plus 6 is 20th. And then this one don't know, right? Yeah, because we don't know X. So that's when we have to stop lah. Okay, but I can know already the total here is 20. 3 plus 4, 7, 7 plus 7, 6, 14 plus 6, 20 numbers here. So I want to find X, right? Okay, for this type of question, I recommend you straight away tengok jawapan ABCD and do it, because this is paper 1. So you don't have to find out the answer yourself. You don't have to find out the answer yourself. You can actually look at the answer and try to, how to say, test with the number. Macam tu. So imagine X is 3. Let's try. If the X is 3 here, what happens is this will be 3 and 2. That means here will be 5 numbers. Right? 5 numbers. And 20 plus 5, you end up with 25. But if there is 25 values, where is the position of median? 25 plus 1 divided by 2 gives you 13th. That means your median is at the 13th position. So the 13th number is here. And the 13th number is 2. But they want the median to be 3. So that's how you know A is wrong. So erase everything, and then try with B. So imagine now the B, the X is 4. So padam ni, ini jadi 4. That means the total here becomes 6. So the bilangan data jadi 26. So your median position 26 plus 1 divided by 2 lah. So tekan this, you will get the position. My calculator give me 13.5. Okay, 13.5 means you have to take the 13th number and the 14th number plus together divide 2. Kena ambil nilai ke-13 and nilai ke-14 tambah bahagi 2. So what is the value in the 13th position? 2. The 14th position also 2. So 2 plus 2 divide 2 is 2 also. But the median needs to be 3, so B is wrong. Let's try with 6. If this is 6, 6 plus 2, this becomes 8. So the median will no longer be at this position. It will be 28 plus 1 divide 2 because there's 28 numbers. Okay, 29 divided by 2. You can use your calculator. I got 14.5. So what is the meaning if the median is at 14.5 position? It means you kena ambil nombor yang dekat kedudukan ke-14. Yeah, the number at the position number 14 and the number at position 15 plus together divide by 2. So the 14th number is 2. The 15 number is 3 already because starting 15 is 3 already. But you tambah bagi 2 you tak dapat 3. You dapat 2.5. Yeah, 2 plus 3 divide 2 is 2.5. So this is wrong. So D is the answer lah. But of course, I will explain to you also. Yeah, I will prove to you also. Make you understand. But of course, in exam, kalau you sudah tahu itu jawapan, you tak payah bazir masa dah. Okay. But since I'm doing this to make you understand, so I will explain the full thing in details for you. So imagine X is 7, 7 plus 2 is 9, the jumlah will be 29. So your median position will be at 29 plus 1 divided by 2, which gives you 15. Kalau you tekan dapat 15. That means the median is at the exact 15th position. So this is the location. It tells you the location, the kedudukan. So kedudukan ke-15. Nombor ke nilai ke-15. Nilai ke-15 is exactly 3. So the median is 3 when the X is 7. So D is the answer. Because they say median is 3, right? So the possible value of X is 7. Macam tu. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, 31. A bakery started baking cupcakes at 7:00 hours. Okay, this is the exact time in 24-hour system. Okay, so when they give you exact time in 24-hour system, you can straight away baca dia AM or PM. So what is this? This is 7 AM, 7 in the morning. Okay, okay, they had baked 24% of the total number of cakes needed to the day by 1000 hours. Okay, this one is 10 AM. Yeah, because it's in 24-hour system, so this is 10 AM. So 3 hours has passed. 3 jam sudah lalu. Sudah pas 3 jam lah. Determine the time in 24-hour system when all the cupcakes will be fully booked. Okay, from 7 AM to 10 AM, dia kena tambah 3 hours. And 3 hours, you already baked 24%. So when will the cupcake will be fully baked? Okay, we have to find out what is the time taken to fully bake 100% dulu. Okay, okay, 3 hours, you baked 24%. So imagine 100%. How long here? Alright, very easy. Kalau sini darab berapa, sini pun darab berapa. So 24, how to become 100? Just tekan 100 bahagi 24. So my calculator give me 4.166666. So I can write 4.17. That means 3 hours pun kena darab dengan benda yang sama, 4.17. But you can use the answer button to get a more accurate answer. So you tekan 3 times answer, my calculator give me 12.5. Tapi you kena tahu satu benda, ini 12.5 adalah hours. Dia adalah bilangan jam ataupun berapa jam yang you kena guna untuk habiskan 100% of the cupcakes. Tapi kalau you tengok jawapan ABCD tak ada 12.5 kan? You tahu kenapa? Sebab dia nak time in 24-hour system. So you kena pergi balik 7 pagi 7 AM plus with 12.5 hours. Okay, 7 AM kalau saya tambah 12 jam. 12 jam dia akan jadi 19. Okay, which is 7 PM lah. Yeah, because in 24-hour system is 19. So you know C and D wrong already lah. Tapi kena tambah lagi 0.5 hours. Okay, this is where student make mistake. Some student they thought it's B-boy because they thought plus 0.5, right? So maybe they would do 7 plus 12.5, then dia dapat 19.5, dia ingat jawapan B. Salah. The answer is A. Because 12.5 hours is actually 12 hours, 30 minutes. Because 12.5 come from 12 hours plus 0.5 hours. And kenapa yang ni 0.5? Sebab dia tak cukup 1 hour lagi. That's why we call it 0.5. So, yang tu kita boleh convert jadi minit times 60 dapat 30 minutes. Okay, that is why it's 12 hours 30 minutes. So what happens here is become 1930. So A is the answer. Okay. Kalau you bulat B, salah. Kenapa B salah? Sebab kalau you bulat B, what you are saying is 12 hours 50 minutes. You are saying that it's 12 hours 50 minutes. Wrong lah. Wrong. 12.5 hours is not 12 hour 50 minutes. It's 12 hour 30 minutes. Because the extra 0.5 times 60 change to minute is 30. So it's actually 12 jam and setengah jam. Tambah lagi setengah jam. So it's like that. So that's the answer. 32. The volume of water V varies. Okay, you see this word, you know it's from 5 chapter 1. Is the variation question. Okay, soalan ubahan. Okay, the volume V varies directly with the square of the time T minutes and the inversely with water pressure P and M minus 2. Okay, let's write down the variation first. Okay, for this type of story question, I always recommend you to write what it represents. Okay, tapi yang tu tulis nantilah. So dia kata varies directly with square of time, means T square lah. Tapi kalau directly, tulis atas. And inversely with water pressure P, so inversely tulis bawah. Okay, but let's try to make sure we write what it represents. So V is the volume of water, but I usually tell my student write the unit. It's always paling best if you write the unit. So liters, okay? And then T is the time in minutes. So write the unit. Kalau the other unit, write the unit. That one is the best way to write it. And then P is the pressure, right? Of course, you can write water pressure, but the best one is to write the unit. And M minus 2. Okay, with that being said, now we can read the next line. Given the constant K is 40. Yeah, whenever we do variation, we always change this to equal and kita kena letak K. And the K, we call that the constant. And the constant, you kena darab dengan whatever after that lah. Whatever after that, you have to darab. Okay, when you take K darab dengan ni, you can terus tulis atas macam ni. Yep, okay. But they already said the K is 40. So I can just write 40 T square over P like that. Usually we have to find ourselves one, the K. Yeah. Usually kita yang kena cari sendiri K tu. And macam mana dia akan tolong kita cari, dia akan bagi kita nilai V, T dengan P. Dia akan bagi full information yang kita kena ganti and cari K sendiri. Tapi soalan ni dia dah bagi K siap-siap, so tak boleh skip step yang tu lah. And then straight away baca next line. Water is pumped into the pool for 4 minutes with pressure 10. Calculate volume. Alright, so we already have the K, so we can skip the step untuk cari K. Ya, the cari K punya step kita tak payah buat dah sebab dia sudah bagi. So just continue from here and they want to find volume in liter, which is good because this volume memang represent liter. And then 40 T square over P dia dah bagi. T is 4, right? Okay, I want to ask you, this 4 minute, do I have to darab 60 or bahagi 60 or just leave it as 4? Leave it as 4. Because T memang nak masuk dalam minutes. So 4 is already in minutes, so masuk saja. That is why I always tell students you have to take note the unit. Ya, selalu dia akan main dengan unit. Okay. So I have to be careful. Okay, the pressure 10 Nm minus 2. This one also already match with the unit we want. So just 10 masuk macam ni. So now you tekan 40 darab 4 square bahagi 10. Okay, 4 square I know is 16. 16, this 0 and 0 can cut, times 4 is 64. And the unit will automatically come out in liters. And they want in liter also. So the answer is D. Okay, sudah siap. That's all. Okay, 33. This is from 4 chapter 7, graph of motion. Dalam bahasa Melayu, graph gerakan. Okay, diagram 15 shows distance time graph of Aisha's round trip from her house to the post office by bicycle. Okay, what is round trip? Pergi dan balik. And it's a DTG, distance time graph. Okay, let's talk about what happens. What's the story behind? So from 8:30 a.m. to 8:45 a.m., the distance change. That means this is moving forward. It's started moving. From 8:30 to 8:45, sepanjang 15 minit ini, dia start dia punya journey and just start by bicycle lah. And as you can see here, dia punya distance tak berubah dah. That means this one is when dia stop. When dia stop, it means dia sudah sampai post office lah. And then dia buat dia punya urusan dia dekat sini. From 8:45 a.m. to 9:15 a.m., dia buat dia punya kerja dekat post office. Okay. And then this is where dia done with all the work. And then dia start moving backwards. Okay. So what we can do is we can highlight. Yeah, whenever I teach the DTG, I always teach students to highlight this part and highlight this part and we write the location. So this one is the house, Aisha's house, and then this one is the post office PO. Okay, so that's why it's called round trip lah, pergi dan balik. Okay, okay. Now let's see bawah kata apa. Which of the following statement is correct? Okay, the total distance for the whole journey 15. Wrong. Yeah, wrong. The total distance is 150 times 2. Because here you move 150 meter, and then when you balik also you move 150 meter. Okay. Sini tak ada move lah. But here move 150, here move 150, so the total distance is 300 meters. 15, no, wrong. B, Aisha spent 70 minutes at the post office. Okay, yang dia spend dekat post office is when dia stop, which is 8:45 to 9:15. Okay, macam mana nak dapat tahu berapa minit sini? Alright, we cannot use calculator. You don't tekan 915 minus 845. No, 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 jangan tekan. Ini 24 hour system. Dia tak boleh tolak macam ni. 24 hour system, dia dia apa? Dia 60, dia base 60. So kita kena tolak guna vertical method. You know what is vertical method? Vertical method is like this lah. You stack the numbers on top of each other and align them like this. Okay, we have to take 15 minutes minus 45 minutes. Tapi tak cukup. So kita kena pinjam dengan 9 jadi 8. But when you pinjam, you pinjam 60 here. 60 plus 15 is 75. And then 75 minus 45 is 30. And then 0808 is 00. So that means 30 minutes have passed. Maksudnya dia buat dia punya kerja post office 30 minit. Bukan 70 bro. So B salah. C, the speed of bicycle from Aisha's house to the post office is 10 meter per minute. Okay, nak tahu speed bicycle from house to post office, you have to find the gradient of this line. The gradient. Because this one is DTG, distance time graph. And to find speed, the formula is distance bahagi time. And the y-axis is distance, right? And the x-axis is time. So to find the distance, you have to take the y-axis minus x-axis. So basically, you are finding the gradient lah. But you need the coordinate here. Okay, let's find the gradient. Okay, let's write down the two coordinate. First coordinate would be 0, 0. Not the 8:30 0. Please don't take that. Hey, this is the actual time. No, no. It's 0, 0. Okay, this other point you cannot write 8:45 150. You have to write the 8:45. You have to minus with 8:30 because 8:30 is 0. 8:30 is 0. So 8:45 will be what? 8:45 minus 30, which gives you how many minutes? 15 minutes, right? So it will be 15, 150. But you have to be careful here. You have to be careful here. When you do gradient, it's y minus y or x minus x. So 150 minus 0 or 50 minus 0, right? But I always tell my student, when you writing this, check the unit also. Check the unit also. So 150 minus 0 is the y-axis. It's in meters, right? 50 minus 0, 15 is the minutes, right? Because you take 8:45 minus 8:30, you get 15 minutes. So the unit will be minute, right? So if you do it like this, the speed will come out in what unit? The speed will come out in what unit? It will come out in meter per minute, right? And what they want unit here? Meter per minute. So this is good. But sometimes they want in meter per second. So then you have to, then you cannot write 15, 150 already. The 15 here, maybe you have to divide 60 or times 60, depending whether you want in hour or in second. So it's important to look at the unit lah, guys. That's my point. Tapi ini dia punya unit sudah, memang kita nak cari speed dalam unit meter per minute. So this is already meter per minute. Alright, you'll get 10 here. So the speed is actually 10 meter per minute for this journey. Okay, so from Aisha's house to post office is indeed 10 meter per minute. So C is the answer. Okay, okay. D, the deceleration. No lah. I read this word also. I know it's wrong already because for distance time graph, you can't find the acceleration or the deceleration. Acceleration, deceleration. You can only find it on STG, speed time graph. Only in the speed time graph you boleh cari pecotan ataupun pecotan. So this one, deceleration 7.5 meter per minute square. There is no way for me to prove to you because it's not possible to find acceleration from the distance time graph. Okay, distance time graph hanya boleh cari speed ataupun cari distance saja. Okay, kalau nak cari speed guna gradient lah. Kalau cari distance kita tengok y-axis. Alright. Acceleration, deceleration is only for speed time graph. Okay, that's all. Alright, 34 is also the same chapter as the last question. So diagram 16 shows the speed time graph for Asmak's jog for period of 22 minutes. So yeah, I can see it's 22 minutes. Okay, let's talk about what happens here. Okay, ini dia silap tulis. Ini bukan distance, ini speed. Okay. Alright, what happens here, the first line? So in 10 minutes, dia punya speed go from 0 to 6 km per hour. So what happens here is accelerate. But sir, just now you say move forward. For this question, just now you say move forward. Okay, itu distance time graph mah. Kalau distance time graph is move forward lah. Tapi kalau speed time, we call this accelerate. Okay, this one is not stop ah. This one we call it uniform speed ataupun constant speed. Uniform or constant. It means laju seragam. Okay. And then afterward, this one is accelerate. Okay. So they accelerate, they uniform, they accelerate. Okay. Alright. I see something. This is in kilometer per hour. This one is in minutes. So usually for speed time graph, you want the time punya unit match with the time here. Usually, most of the time you want that, but the unit is not same. So I have to be very careful when I read, when I do it later. Okay, calculate the distance in km. Asmak jog for the last 12 minutes. Okay, let's find out for last 12 minutes mana dulu. Okay, 22 saya kena tolak dengan 12 lah. Sebab nak last 12 kan. 22 minus 12 is 10. So it's the last 12 minutes is here to here. Right? And now I have to find the distance in kilometers from here to here. Okay, how to find distance from speed time graph? You kena guna area under graph. You have to find the area under graph to find distance. Okay, not the gradient. I just told you here. I just told you just now. For the last question, I told you also to find acceleration, deceleration. You have to go speed time graph and find gradient. Okay, that means when you're doing speed time graph, punya gradient, you are actually finding the acceleration, deceleration. But I want the distance now. So you have to use the area under graph. And ada sebab tau. Sebab speed punya formula is distance over time. So distance adalah speed darab dengan time lah. So you are actually taking the speed darab time, means the speed which is in kilometer per hour, but you have to make sure the time in hour. Sebab kalau dia punya time tak hour, dia tak boleh potong. You gonna make sure time hour baru boleh potong, then you get in kilometers. Okay, so you have to find the area under graph. Okay, under graph. So this area and this area. Under bawah graph. Okay, we have two shapes, rectangle and trapezium. Let's find the area of rectangle. Okay, the rectangle punya area, kita kena ambil base times height. The base is 12 minus 10, which is 2, times with the height, which is 6. But hold on. I told you, it has to be kilometer per hour. Okay, when you take 12 minus 10, the unit is actually in minutes. Okay, but it has to be in hours. So, kena bahagi 60. And then baru darab dengan 6. Sebab, kalau macam ni, then only this is in hours, then only this one is in km per h. Then only possible untuk potong, and then baru dapat distance in km. If we forget to bahagi 60, then wrong. Wrong. Okay, so I'll just write area here. Okay, tambah lagi dengan shape trapezium. Okay, for trapezium punya area is 1/2 times A plus B times C. A plus B will be the two parallel lines for the trapezium. So it's 6 plus 14. And the 6 plus 14, the unit will be in kilometer per hour. Agree? Yeah, it's in kilometer per hour. 6 and 14 is on the y-axis mah. But then you have to darab dengan C, which is the panjang from here to here. So we have to take 22 minus 12, which is 10. But the 10 is in minutes. So you have to bahagi 60 supaya dia tukar jadi hours. Then only the hours and hours cut left with kilometer. Alright, here you can cut also. 6 divided 60 is 10. So it's 2 divided 10 which is 0.5. And then tambah lagi dengan, okay, ini boleh tekan. 14 plus 6 is 20. 20 divided 2 is 10. And then 10 times 10 is 100. 100 divided 60, I got 5/3. Ataupun 1.666, so 1.67 macam tu lah. And then tambah dengan 0.5, 2.1, wait, what? 1.67, and then plus 0.5, 2.17. Wait, why no answer? Oh, this one is 0.2, guys. Yeah. 2/10 is 1/5. 1/5 is 0.2. And then plus with 1.67 is 1.87. Okay. Of course, this is the area, but we want the distance, right? And the distance will be 1.87 lah. And automatic is in km already. Yeah, because I already make sure the unit here is hours multiplied with kilometer per hour. So it should be in kilometer already. So B boy is the answer. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, 35. Amina owns a shop with an area of 110 meter square. Given that the quit rent, okay, I know which chapter already. Form 5, chapter 4. Chapter 4, bab 4, the cukai. Okay, let's talk about the quit rent punya formula. Ataupun cukai tanah. Okay, the quit rent formula is you take the total land area. Ataupun dia punya luas, jumlah luas tanah, total land area, usually in meter square, darab dengan the rate. The rate. So they already give you the area is 110 meter square, and then the quit rent levite is this is the rate lah, RM 0.55 per meter square. Per meter square means like kalau 1 meter square you bayar 55 cents. Kalau 1 meter square. Tapi kalau 110 meter square, then you kena darab lah. Okay, calculate the annual quit rent payable by Amina. Annual means 1 tahun. Okay, this formula is already for 1 tahun. So masuk saja 110 darab dengan the rent RM 0.55. So tekan ni you terus dapat jawapan 60.50. So that's all. Yeah, this is quite easy. Okay, let's do 36. Diagram 17 shows a parallelogram PQRS. Okay, and a right angle triangle UTR. So right angle triangle, usually we can use two formulas. The Pythagoras theorem and the Sokato to solve. Okay, but let's see what they want. Okay, one more thing. Kalau parallelogram, atas dengan bawah mesti sama panjang. So this will be 12 also. Okay, it will be 12 also. And this panjang sama juga. But we don't know the panjang, so let's not write it first. Okay, baca sini, given that TU ratio PQ sama dengan UR ratio QR, which is 1:2. Okay, let's label TU PQ 1, 2 dulu. So TU PQ 1, 2. So panjang TU boleh carilah. Sebab kalau ini portion dia 2 mah. So the ratio 2 is 12 cm. So to find out one portion, you just take 12 divided by 2. So this is 6 cm. Yeah, this one is 6 cm. Okay. And then what else? UR ratio QR is also 1:2. UR ratio QR is also 1:2. Okay. UR dia punya ratio 1. QR ratio dia 2. So kalau nak dapat sini 2 tolak 1, 1 sini lah. It means U is the midpoint lah. Yeah, U is the midpoint. Okay. Okay, calculate perimeter of shaded region. Okay, shaded region is 12 plus 12 plus 6. Tapi kena tambah ini. Tapi tiga-tiga ni kita tak tahu panjang dia. So my job now is to find out this remaining 3 lines. Okay. Okay, what I will do, let's think. Can I use Pythagoras theorem? Okay, if I have the panjang here, then boleh lah. Tapi sekarang tak ada. Alright, I know how to do already. Use the 16. Because the 16 is the vertical height from the highest point to the lowest point. So imagine if I go to P, which is the highest point also, if I tarik bawah to the lowest point R, what do you think is the height? 16 also. And if this is 16, this is 12, can I find out the QR? Yes, by using Pythagoras theorem, because this is 16, this is P. So this one is square root, bracket square, sini tulis 16, 12. Okay, tambah or tolak? Okay, you are finding the longest side, so tambah. Alright, you will get 20. Tapi ini 20 bukan jawapan. This 20 is from Q to R. But since the ratio is 1, 1, that means U is the midpoint. You can take 20 divided 2, you get 10 cm each. So that means the whole line here will be 20 cm also. So now the perimeter will be 12 plus 10 plus 6 plus this one. Okay, this one, you can find it by using Pythagoras theorem. So I'm just going to do it here. Because using the small right angle triangle, you have 6, 10, right? So this one is 8 lah. How you get the 8 is use Pythagoras theorem also. Okay, bracket square, but this time you will take 10 square minus 6 square because you are not finding the longest side. You are not finding the hypotenuse. So you can ambil yang paling panjang 10 square minus 6 square. So you get 8 here. So now you know it's 8. Okay, now you can find the perimeter of shaded region starting from 12 tambah 8 tambah 6. Alright, 12 plus 8 plus 6. And then tambah 10 plus 12. And then the last line, 20. Okay, so tekan 12 plus 8, 20 plus 6, 26 plus 10, 36, 36 plus 12, 48 plus 20, 68. So the answer is C. Okay. Yep, can use your calculator to help you. Alright, that's all. Okay, 37. Diagram 18 shows the front elevation of a tent. So pandangan hadapan tent looks like this. The roof of the tent forms an isosceles triangle QRS. Alright, I think the QR and RS is the two same side lah. Isosceles means dia punya triangle ada dua side yang sama panjang. And confirm is QRRS. Sebab you tak pernah tengok bumbung yang apa? Yeah, you get my point, right? Tak ada roof yang satu macam ni and then satu macam ni. Okay, usually is like the tajam one is at the middle one. Okay, given PQ, QR 2 meter. Boleh. PQ 2 meter, QR 2 meter. Means this is also 2 lah. And this is also 2 lah. Because this one and this one mesti sama kan? And then cos RST is negative 305. Okay, definitely a trigonometry question. And then calculate the height in meter top of the tent from the ground. Okay, they want to find height from top of the tent from the ground. So top of the tent is here. And then to the ground, so you have to find the panjang from here to here lah. Okay, I already know the panjang from here to here is 2. Definitely is 2, right? Tapi kita tambah dengan sini kan. Tapi sini tak tahu. Tapi boleh cari. Because when you cut the isosceles triangle in half, you will get a right angle. You will get two right angle triangle with the same size. Okay. So my job is to label this information, and I believe I can use maybe Pythagoras or maybe Sokato to help me later to find the panjang here. So let's label this information. Cos RST is negative 305. Okay, the first step is to find out where's this angle first and make sure it's in quadrant 1. If it's not in quadrant 1, use the reference angle. Okay. Okay, RST dekat mana? Okay, dekat sini kan. Now, is this quadrant 1? No. You don't need the question to tell you which quadrant. You can use your eyes. This is definitely not quadrant 1 because this is already 90 degree. This is more than 90 already. So it's quadrant 2. So tell me, kalau dia bukan quadrant 1 macam mana? Tukar jadi quadrant 1 lah. Cari dia punya reference angle. Okay, macam mana nak cari reference angle kalau dia quadrant 2? 180 minus 180 tolak dengan sudut ni. Alright, when you take 180 minus dengan ni, you dapat sudut mana? Sini kan? Because 180 is the total here. So when you minus dengan ni, you dapat sudut sini. That means this angle, I call it alpha for now. This angle alpha is the reference angle for this. So when you what sine alpha and sine this angle, you will get the same answer. When you do sin yang ni dengan sin yang ni sama, cos yang ni dengan cos yang ni sama, tangent ni dengan tangent ni sama. Cuma the positive negative je yang tak sama. Because they are both the reference angle. So kalau dia punya reference angle, mesti dia punya sin cos tan jawapan give you same answer. That means I can use this to label the 3, 5. So I can just join a right angle like this. And cos RST, I can use the reference angle to help me. So for the reference angle is here. Kalau this one, call it opposite lah. Depan sudut opposite. Depan 90. Hypotenuse, which is the 2. And then adjacent is the last one. So cos punya formula is K. So the 3 is the adjacent. 5 is the hypotenuse. The negative, just ignore. The reason why there's negative is because second quadrant. Add sugar to coffee. Kalau cos second quadrant, negative. So the negative, jangan just biarkan. The negative is just there because it's quadrant 2 lah. That's why. Cos second quadrant, negative. Okay, 3 is the A. So go to A and write 3. And then 5 is the H. So H, this one write 5 lah. But do you remember this is 2 meter? The hypotenuse is 2 meter, right? The hypotenuse is 2 meter, but the ratio is 5. So imagine, ratio 5 is 2 meters. So what is ratio 3 then? What is ratio 3 then? What is ratio 3 then? Sini bahagi berapa, sini pun bahagi berapa lah. So just tekan 3 bahagi 5, you get 3 over 5. That means 5 nak jadi 3 sini kena darab 3 over 5. So sini pun darab 3 over 5. 2 times 3 over 5 dapat berapa? So my calculator give me 6 over 5. Dalam decimal is 1.2. So this is 1.2 in meters also. But this is not the answer. This 1.2 is the panjang for here. Here until here. 1.2. That means the vertical height here also 1.2 lah. So sudah tahu panjang ni, tambah lagi dengan 2, dapatlah 3.2. Because the soalan ask for total height from the top of the tent from the ground. So it's 1.2 plus 2. So A is the answer. Okay, hope you understand. 38. Table 4 shows the information on Encik Ying's property insurance. Okay, for property insurance, I have to give you the notes. Yeah. So property insurance and fire insurance is the same thing. Okay, it's the same thing. So let's talk about the fire insurance. First, we have to calculate the amount of required. And the formula, you have to know this. If you're facing SPM, you don't know this, you can't answer fire insurance punya soalan. So, kena tahulah, amount of required, jumlah yang harus beli, kita kena ambil co-insurance percentage, multiply with the insurable value. That's how you find out the required. And then after that, you have to check whether it's case 1, case 2, or case 3. Case 1 is when the insured value is equal to the required. Or you can say the purchased amount purchased is same with the required. For this case, you find the compensation by taking the loss minus with deductible. Itu kalau case 1. Kalau case 2 is when your insured is less than the required. It means the amount you purchase is less than the required amount. So what happens if it's case 2? What happens when your insured value is less than required? Then your compensation will be lesser. And the formula will be the purchased amount over the required amount times with loss minus deductible. But this one is only when it's case 2. When your insured is less than the required. Okay. And one more thing, for case 2, there is a penalty. We call it co-insurance penalty. And why is there a penalty? Is because you purchase less than the required amount. So what happens is there is a penalty. So to find the penalty, the formula, you have to take required minus purchased, divide with required, times with loss. But this one, they jarang tanya in the exam lah. Jarang tanya tapi pernah tanya juga. Jarang tanya tapi pernah tanya. And usually when they ask this, most students cannot jawab for the penalty one. Okay? So make sure you know this. Required minus purchase over required times loss. So basically what you're doing is you are taking the other side of the fraction. Yeah, because you take, like for example, this one is 3 over 5, right? 3 over 5. So you take required minus purchase means 5 minus 3, which gives you 2 over 5 lah. So you're just basically taking the other side of the fraction. Yeah, that's the penalty, right? Because you only purchased 3 out of 5. So the penalty here is the balance lah, the balance 2 over 5 lah. Yeah, you're taking the other side of the fraction. Okay. And then darab dengan loss. Okay. Okay, last one is case 3. Case 3 is called total loss. Suffer total loss. Dalam bahasa Melayu, kerugian menyeluruh. And for kerugian menyeluruh, the compensation, we just take the amount of insurance purchased minus with deductible. That's all. Okay. So guys, you have to be aware of all these things if you want to jawab fire insurance punya soalan. Okay. Alright. Now let's go back to the question. Insurable value 500k, required is 80%. Okay, let's find it now. 0.8 times with 500,000. Okay, what do you get? 400,000. Okay. Okay, let me tell you why I straight away do like this. Because I'm so sure of it. I'm so confident. Because for fire insurance, you usually memang kena dapatkan required. Because if you don't get your required amount, then you don't know it's case 1 or case 2 later. Because later you have to compare the insured amount with the required. The insured means the purchased amount lah. Okay, so sekarang deductible 4,000, but the deductible we don't use it now. For now lah. Deductible we only use it when we when we finding the compensation. Baru kita guna. Okay, Encik Ying insure his house at 350k. This is the insured value. Insured means beli. 400k is the harus beli. Okay, so dia beli ni, tapi dia harus beli ni. So case 1 or case 2? Case 2 lah. Because you buy less than the required amount. And then the house caught on fire and the amount of loss is 40,000. Calculate the amount of compensation. So which formula do you think I'll use? Case 2 compensation. This one lah. So let's go. Purchased over required. So purchased beli is 350k. Over required is 400k. and then darab dengan loss, which is 40,000, and then minus with deductible, which is 4,000. So just tekan all this in your calculator and you should be able to get 31,000. So the answer is C. Okay. So I really urge you to, if you haven't apa, no, you cannot write down this, you cannot remember this, I urge you to memorize it or remember it now lah. Because this one is very important when you're doing fire insurance. Okay. Okay, I'll continue. 39. Diagram 19 shows a graph of y equals 3 sine x plus 1. Okay, when you're doing sine x graph, you get 1 sine graph within 360. And then if there's a 3 here, means the amplitude has to be 3, negative 3. And then plus 1 means the whole thing move up. So let's draw it now. So you have a sine graph, looks like this. But since this one is sine 1x, that means 1x means you draw 1 cycle in 360. Okay, so this is 0, this is x, this is y. And then the amplitude usually is 1, negative 1. But if they put 3 here, that means this has to be 3, negative 3. And what's the meaning of plus 1? It means the whole graph has to move up 1 unit. That means this is not no longer 3, it becomes 4 already. And then the 0 here becomes 1, the negative here becomes negative 2. That means your x-axis position will also change. It will be down a bit here. Yeah, it will be below the center line. Okay, because the center line is at 1, right? And the 2p, the one is 4 lah. And then the negative p is actually negative 2. Okay, so they want to determine value of p, right? Okay, so we all know 2p is 4, right? So the p is 4 divided by 2 lah. So the p is 2. So the answer is B, boy. Of course, you can also do it using this. Negative p equals negative 2. The p, okay, pindah negative. Kalau pindah negative, tukar tanda jadi 2. So this is also give you the same answer. So boleh juga. Okay. Alright, sudah siap. Okay, last question is medical insurance. So I'm sure I have to give you the formula. So do I have enough space here? Okay, I think enough lah. Alright, for medical insurance, this one is Form 5 Chapter 3 ya. So you kena tahu ada dua jenis soalan yang dia boleh tanya. First is they will ask you to find amount yang kena tanggung oleh policy holder. Tak maulah, company dulu lah. So amount yang company kena bayar. Means the bayaran pampasan. Another one yang dia possible boleh tanya is amount yang policy holder kena tanggung. The amount borne by policy holder. Okay, step one. Step one, we have to take medical costs ataupun medical bill minus deductible. Medical cost means the kerugian ataupun the medical bill lah. Medical bill. Lepas tu step 2, take the answer darab dengan big percentage. Big percentage. Sebab co-insurance ada 2%. Kalau nak cari company, you have to darab big percent. Because company is usually responsible for the higher percent one. Okay. And then, sudah siap. That's all. Okay. Kalau policy holder, okay, step 1, we also take medical cost minus deductible. Sama. Sama macam tadi. Tapi dia punya step 2 kena darab dengan small percent. Percentage yang kecil. Sebab policy holder dia usually tanggung the smaller percent. But there is a step 3 for this. You have to take the answer plus with the deductible. Because deductible is the amount that you agree to pay yourself when there is a loss. So for policy holder kena bayar, after you kira all that, you have to tambah deductible. Okay. So that is the notes for medical insurance. Okay. All right, so let's do it now. Faiz was admitted to the hospital due to accident. Okay, the medical cost charged by the hospital is 12400. So this is the medical cost lah, the medical bill. Faiz is covered by medical insurance policy with deductible 1000. So later I have to take 12400 minus 1000, and then baru darab dengan the percent. But ada 2% kan. So nanti kita kena tengok nak cari yang company bayar ataupun Faiz. Alright, 75-25 co-insurance percentage in participation clause, calculate amount borne by Faiz. So nak guna formula yang ni ke yang ni? Mestilah yang ini. Sebab nak cari Faiz. Faiz is the policy holder. Faiz adalah pemegang polisi. So kita kena buat macam ni. So first ambil 12400 tolak dengan 1000. So dapat 11400 and ikut the formula 11400 darab dengan small percent 25 over 100. Potong. Okay, 114 times 25. 25 sorry, 2850. Okay. Okay, 2850 belum siap. Ada step 3 tambah deductible. Okay. The deductible is 1000. So I get 3850. A is the answer. Okay. The reason why it looks so easy when I do it is because I have all this memorized. I have all this in my head. So when I do it, it's like very simple lah. So if you all are weak at the medical insurance soalan, just remember this, and you are good to go. You can solve any medical insurance question if you just know these steps. Okay, this one and this one. Right? Okay, that's all for this video. I finished all the question already. So I'll see you in my next video. Okay, if you all want more videos like this, make sure you subscribe. And if you all are interested to gain early access to my future videos, you can join my channel membership if you are interested lah. Alright, that's it. I'll see you next video. Bye bye.